Oop. Test 1 2 1 2 3.
Test 1 2 1 2 3.
Yo yo yo. Yo. All right, sounds good. All right, guys. So I'm testing the cell phone today. Let me see. I gotta write in chat. How do I get this? Why does it look like that? Alright, so one of my questions is, do you guys, maybe someone will see this and you guys can help me. Why does it say, why does it say Streamlabs? So I want to get rid of it saying Streamlabs. I don't know how to do that, so I'm going to have to figure that out. Yeah, it just says Streamlabs on there, dude. What the fuck? Let me turn on that music. There. Damn, where's my... Okay, so I gotta text, see if I can see chat. Let me see, here's chat right here. Connected to chat. Alright. So what I'm gonna be doing is, I want to do some cell phone streams so you guys can see me interact with, let me get this one. Talk to this. Damn. Alright, so anyways. Alright. So testing the cell phone stuff. Why is that on there? Continue. Alright, so I'm testing the cell phone. Right now it's just connected to the internet. I'm trying to just, see what's a good adjustment. Probably when I head out somewhere, let me see. Sorry you guys, let's try and figure this shit out. Why does it show that like that? Stream title. Continue. Okay, so there's chat. Stream time. Cancel. Continue. What is that? Why is that frozen there? Oh well. Okay, so chat. Let me see. Okay, there it is. Alright, so now my chat's popping up. Damn, that's like all the way across, dude. Blocks everything out. Who cares? Fuck it. Alright, so I can put up chat. The chat works. Events list. Cool. Oh, I can replay it.
Demons to some, angels to others.
Shit. Let me test that. Hey, dude, that is fucking cool. Ah, the internet's alright. Man, I don't know why it says Streamlabs on there. That's some bullshit. Alright, let me see. Let me try it again.
Demons to some, angels to others.
Alright, that's cool, dude. Fuck yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to find. Here we go.
When I whet my flashing sword, and my hand takes hold on judgment, I will take vengeance upon mine enemies, and I will repay those who hate me. O Lord, raise me to thy right hand and count me among thy saints, and I shall count thee among my favoured sheep, and you shall have the protection of all the angels in heaven.
You know what's crazy is that I didn't realize is that I cut it off right there. I need to add maybe about 5 or 10 more seconds to like when someone talks, right? Because someone's gonna have to write something. So I didn't think about that. So on a couple of them, I'm gonna have to, on the subscriptions, I'm gonna have to make it longer. The bits and the donations, I'm gonna have to make them a little bit longer. Let me see something. Who's that? Huh. I got gifted another sub. What do you know? Alright, so let's do this. Alright. Test. Cool. Fucking works, dude. Okay, so I can already see chat there, so what I could do is take the, okay, cool. Alright, perfect. Man, alright, everything's working. So oh fuck. Alright. So check the way it should be. The way it should be. Oh, wow. So, let's see, got that. Alright, so you guys, what I'm planning today, it's not like, fucking, let me see. Oh yeah, I joined the gym today, guys, so, things are I'm gonna get a little bit more muscly again. Get more tone, not so much muscle. Time for me to get back in shape. Oh man. So what it's gonna feel like to be young again. Yeah. I always feel young, to be honest. I actually feel a little bit too young. So but you can never feel too young, right? So if I get a little bit too young, then I'm just gonna have to find me a babysitter. So okay, so my plans is to, I feel like it's too close. There we go. So my plans is to do like I said, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna be mixing up, like, you know, computer streams. So probably if not tomorrow, I'm gonna do a PC stream the next day. So it's today, Wednesday, I believe. So Thursday, Friday. So if I don't do a PC stream tomorrow, then I will be doing a PC stream on Friday. And then Saturday the latest. You never know, it can happen, right? So Saturday would be the latest, but I am gonna do a PC stream. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow I'll do a Call of Duty. I've been wanting to do a quick Call of Duty stream. I haven't done that in a while on a stream, so I'm gonna set my PC up and everything for some Call of Duty and everything. You know, do a stream on that. I was having some issues with the RAM, and I was having issues with Windows. Windows wasn't updating. I don't know why. It was happening for like 2 weeks. So I finally fixed that. Got the issue going with Windows, so it started updating again. What else did I have? I don't know. I had issues with my RAM, dude. For some odd reason, my Windows was limiting my RAM. So every time I would play Call of Duty, it was like shutting off the app. Like sometimes, you know, and like I don't know, after like playing for 45 minutes, couldn't understand what's happening. And then I was like, man, there's something. It has to be something with my RAM. So I went into my Windows setting. I don't know why, but I had these settings for my RAM to make sure it works at a specific, you know, at its peak point. I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, it just adjusted itself again where it was the wrong setting. So I had to readjust that. So if you guys ever have a PC, which probably most of you do, you're constantly gonna have to make adjustments on PC somewhere. It's just they never stay. I don't know. They do things on their own, like I've always said. So I'm just like, shit, man. So I got that all the way. Yeah, so I'll be doing a PC stream. I'll do Call of Duty, but I got some things I want to talk about with my Discord. I got some things going on with Discord. I'm like, damn, man. I was like, a Discord recap, you know, a Discord recap. Fuck, that would be like perfect right now, right? A Discord recap, because oh my god, I don't even think you guys know what's going on. I don't think some of you do, because I post in different places and everything. So, my Mortal War Angels tattoo, you guys, you know, shit. All it needs now is some muscles. All my tattoos need now is some muscles. So I'm gonna. My first day at the gym is tomorrow. So hey, look at me now. Look at these arms now, right? See these arms now? Okay. Not much there, but you know, not yet, not yet. So look at them now, you guys, and you watch. I mean, you guys have pictures of me, you know, like there's pictures of me everywhere, and you watch, man. You watch. I'm gonna be working out again, and when you guys see when I'm dedicated towards something, I get dedicated. So I'm gonna just start getting back in shape. I'm gonna just get healthy. I'm healthy, but I'm gonna get healthier, like fighting, right? I want to do one more fight, I told myself. So I want to get in shape, and then I might sign up at the gym to do train for fighting again, maybe get back into my fighting. We'll see what happens, you know. Yeah, you know, so I'm kind of excited to go back to the gym. I don't know. Yeah, everybody has their own like excitements. I guess mine is the gym, even though I haven't been there in a while, you know. But you know, once I'm there and I'm dedicated, I'm there, I'm doing it, dude. I'm like, fuck. Especially when you start seeing results, right? And I think the thing is you know, being single, you know, I guess being a single god like myself, right? Not a single man. I was a single man a long time ago. Today, I'm a single god. Let's get that straight, right? And not only even a single god, I'm a single lord as well. So, not too many single gods or lords out there nowadays, you know? You can't even find a real gods and lords out there nowadays, shit. So yeah, being single and you know, ready to take the next step forward in my life, I guess you could say. I told myself, like, I gotta get in shape. I gotta start taking care of myself. I mean, I gotta start feeling confident. You know, especially, you know, when I talk to you know, a beautiful woman, I guess you could say, or a beautiful goddess. I don't even want to talk to a woman anymore. Fuck. So, you know, especially meet a beautiful goddess, like, man, if I'm out of shape and you know, I'm not what I, you know, used to be, then I can't feel confident. You know, I got confidence. Trust me. Like, I know who I am, what I'm about, what I could, you know, like what it's, you know, what it is, I guess you could say. But I, again, even though it's my temporary body and I know my true form, I still got to look at it like, you know, I got to take care of this body. I got to take care of this form I'm in now. You know, until my immortal form comes, or is, you know, it's here, but maybe I haven't found it, right? And as soon as I'm immortal, then, you know, that's it, you know? Like, I don't have to worry about so many things anymore. Like working out at the gym, right? Like working out at the gym. So yeah, so I just, how do I zoom out? Let me see. I think it's already zoomed out all the way. Well, that's just what it is. So yeah, so like, you know, so I'm just gonna, you know, I'm excited, dude. What you guys gonna see, dude? I'm gonna start taking pictures of like fucking when I start seeing results, and then again, might lead to me fighting again. I might get 1 or 2 more fights, man. I have it in me. I mean, I easily have it in me to still fight. No doubt about it. It's just I need to fucking get in shape, you know. Like, I can know how to fight and do whatever I want to do, but you know, getting in shape is the part. So I'm gonna get in shape. I can't wait, you know. But yeah, when I do my future live streams, I'm gonna head out in public. I don't know where. The only thing that sucks, this is what sucks, is that the area that I live in, they have really bad service. You know, they got bad service. Like, it's hard for me to stream it. So like when you meet, you know, when you know where, you know, to find certain people to go talk to or interact with, it just sucks because, again, my cell phone, I have Verizon, by the way, which is the best, but I guess because the area that I live in, you know what I mean? Like, we have shitty cell phone service. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but It kind of seems like it's like that everywhere, because I even went down the hill and I think I spoke about it. Not one damn time I've ever picked up 5G anywhere. I had my fucking 5G phone, I think, for about 2 years now. You know what I mean? And not one damn time has it ever picked up 5G. So I'm just kind of like, man, this is some bullshit, man. I've been to LA, I've been to Santa Monica, I'm over here where I live. And, it just seems like no matter where I go, there's no 5G. So I'm just like, damn, you know. Because 4G, I mean, dude, I can't even get good 4G service. Let's just put it that way. So I know a couple of spots. I've been to one of them where the phone service isn't so bad. I put the videos what it is right now. I know it doesn't, the quality might not look that good. I don't know. But what I'm going to put the quality at is 720p. Because there's no way in hell I'm going to get 1080p unless if I have a 5G network. So I'll do 720p. And then the bit rates, I put the bit rate at 3500. Normally I do the bit rate at 2500. Right now, since I'm connected to the internet, which my internet only has 25 upload speeds because I don't have fiber optic. That's what I'm thinking, maybe even moving. I want to move. You know, so if there's any streamers out there that's looking to move anywhere in this world, well, actually it has to probably be somewhere in the United States, but if there's any streamers out there that's dedicated to what you do and you guys, you know, want to move into the United States, I would love to live with other streamers, dude, and more streamers that are like fit me, that know me, right? I can't just live with anybody. Because, dude, I'm tired of some things, dude. Like, I need to change sometimes, even though I love where I live. But I've been trying to get fiber optic internet for about 4 years now, and not one fucking time, dude, like, have they ever even attempted to try to put fiber optic internet here. So that's number one why I want to move. Number two, I feel like I've been here too long. I just want to change in scenery. I think I want that, right? Like, I think I want that. Let's just be honest, you know. Oh, shit, you know, let me turn. Give me a second. Oh, you know what? I gotta do something really quick. What is it? Quick share. I gotta do not disturb. Oh, here it is. Do not disturb. And then we'll turn down the fucking. There we go. Turn that down. Turn off that location so don't waste the battery. Close. Alright, I just turned down the brightness so the phone can last longer. It should, my phone, when I stream the way it does, or like right now, the way I'm doing it, it probably will last about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. So yeah, so I'm gonna head out and so really quick. So I have a 3500 bit rate because it's connected to the internet. I think there's some areas up here I'm gonna have to put it all the way down to like 2500. You know, bit rate because it might cut off, but I'll try to stream at 720p at 3500 bit rate. There's no way in hell I'm gonna probably be able to do more than that. Again, the area I live in is just such shitty service, and no matter where I go, it seems like I don't know if it's a Verizon thing, but it kind of seems like other people I talk to and everything, they're getting shitty phone service now. So it just kind of seems like no matter, I don't know, maybe it's the sunspots. I always tell people, hey, there's a lot of sunspots shooting off those flares, and they do tell it affects our cell phone service. So I don't know, you know, so yeah, so it'll be cool. I'll be able to stream, and I'm going to be able to stream out in public, try to see what I can do. I got it all set up. That was my main thing, try to get set up. So again, now I can switch it up to like when I go out in public and interact with people, and then I can switch it up to, you know, the PC. So, yeah. Oh yeah, Night of Devils. Let me see. I think I adjusted it already. Let me see. I don't know if you could see it. I thought you usually could see it. Let me see leaderboard. Let me see recent. And then what's leaderboard? I'll adjust that. So I adjusted. I don't know if it's showing up right now because I'm streaming on a cell phone, or let me see. It should show. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, I guess it doesn't show on tablet. So yeah, so it shows now. I did it all time. For now, I'm gonna put it all time until I get more things and all that. And then you know what's funny? Do you guys see? If you guys go to my top cheers, right? This is gonna be funny as fuck, dude. On my top cheers, you know, where it says the top cheer, like the person who did the most bits. It was funny because my alt account before I used to have it at the Sin 111, so it was like the Sin with 3 1s, and I used that account because when I did this account, this was my main account. I used. I'm so stupid, dude. This is how it was for me, because I wasn't too much of a technical guy. So I didn't know that I didn't know there was a test stream. I didn't know that, you know, the OBS or whatever it is, you could test, you know, the subscriptions, you can test the bits and all that stuff. So I was actually using my alt account to like make donations to me on this account, so I can hear the donations go off, or I can hear like, and then like I was using my actual bits and money, dude, to actually hear the test, to hear like, you know, like the follows. I really couldn't, you know, I just let it be. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna test my bits and donate bits to myself so I could hear it and test it. Oh, I'm gonna test my donations and donate to me so I could see this and that. And then I don't know why I didn't see it or pay attention or what it was. I don't know, because I just was new to it, and I don't know. I just wasn't really into it. I just wanted to stream. I didn't want to deal with all that bullshit, or I just wanted to give someone my ideas, like, this is what I want to do, you know? And, or, you know, people know me so well, they already know what to do for me, you know, how I want to do it. And, but again, so I back then, dude, that's what I was doing. And then I found out later, like, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. I didn't see this part where you can test follows, you could test. And again, it was just different back then. It was a different setup. I don't know if it was hidden or I didn't click on it to go, you know, to do it. So I never saw the test donations or the test bits or all that shit to test, you know. So I was just like, fuck, man. I was like, I spent my own money donating bits and shit, and that just when I was doing the test. And now I could test it, but I just thought it's funny because I'm on there. I'm like, the Sin 111. I was like, when did I do that? And I was like, oh yeah, I changed my name. It used to, well, now it's the Sin 64. And I was like, oh yeah, it used to be the Sin, you know, 111. And then yeah, so that's when I was just like, fuck, dude. I was like, my life. So, but yeah, so I'll be, this just, like I said, just wanted to do a quick little test stream today. I just wanted to see, make sure the chat was working. You know, the only issues I'm probably going to have is, like I said, fucking, internet issues, you know, disconnection issues. Really hope it doesn't happen. But if I'm like, really setting something up, you know, with someone, or, you know, I'm setting something up, to where, you know, I'm like, damn, it's like really bad phone service here, you know, I'm like, damn, it's like really bad phone service here, and I really want to, you know, stream it, then most likely I'm not gonna I will live stream it, but it's not gonna be live. What I'm gonna have to do is just like record it on my cell phone, you know. I'm gonna have to like record it all like it was a live stream, like I'm actually live streaming, but obviously there's no people in chat, which I mean, it's kind of like that now anyways, right? So I thought, okay, well, I'll just do, you know, a regular video. If it's really that bad of a reception and it's cutting off on Twitch, then I'll just let everybody know, like, hey guys, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm going to continue the stream recording on my phone, and then I'll upload the video on my YouTube. So again, so if I ever have like really bad service where the stream is cutting in and out, then I'll just fucking cut the stream off, or I just won't stream if I see it's really that bad. And I'll just do a video. I'll do a video like I really was live streaming, and it'll be the same thing. It's just everybody's just going to have to watch it afterwards on my YouTube. You know, I'll just upload it. So I thought that would be pretty cool, you know. Yeah, you guys. So I'm going to do a PC stream next. I'm gonna do a PC stream next. I don't know if it's gonna be Warzone, or I don't know if it's just gonna be what I usually do on the PC. And then after that, I think that's when I'll do my first cell phone stream out in public. Or I'll see you guys. I'll show you guys how. If I'm in an area where it's good business, I'll show you guys how I help people. I go door to door and run my business and make appointments with people, and I'll record it. I want to do that. I just never recorded it. But yeah, you know, so that's cool. You guys get to see how I run my business. You guys, I'm telling you guys, I don't think anyone really realize. That's hard to say. Really realize how professional I really am. You see me goof around, joke around, or do this and that. But, you know, when I gotta go back to my human ways and I gotta go to, like, you know, talking and promoting, being professional at a job or, you know, running a business, whatever it is, you guys will not really experience it or see it or believe it until you actually, like, see me in the moment. Like, I so wish I was able to do videos of me in the dental lab, which I should have, but I really didn't, so you could see. I wish I would have streamed some of my solar appointments. I knew I have one video of, you know, but it's a video of me just talking to one of my solar customers on YouTube after I, you know, signed them up. But I told myself, like, man, if I ever do a solar appointment again, I'm going to ask the people, and they usually will let me, like, hey, could I record this, you know, from, like, you know, record this, you know, like, seeing me, like, I want to record it where everybody can actually see me in the moment, you know, like, what I do. And like I said, you guys are gonna realize, like, damn, if I do dental or I do solar or whatever I do, I'm very professional when I need to be, you know, when you need to be professional when it comes to, like, you know, making a living or making money, or your life depends on it, you know, your entire life depends on a job, right? You know, like, your whole life depends on a job. You know, that's what they call it nowadays, and that sucks, you know. I mean, yeah, it creates good and bad, you know, good things and bad things. I just think that, you know, if people are gonna work a job, just everyone should get everything for free. But technically, it's not free because they're working for it, where there's no money involved. Like, you know, no money involved, and everybody gets everything for free, and but there's a limit, or there's a response. Like, everybody's gonna know each other. Like. Like, damn, why is this person for the last month been using more water and electricity and buying more food and this and that? You know, you realize, like, damn, for a month now they've been taking advantage of the system. Well, all these other people are happy and they're getting enough, like, you know, more than enough, right? You're getting, like, way more than enough, right? And then you look over here and you're like, well, all of us are getting way more than enough, and you're telling me that these people over here are abusing the system, and they're actually using 3 or 4 times more the amount of water, electricity, food, and everything we have. Like, what the fuck is going on? And then you find out, you know what I mean, why, and it just, you know what I mean, like, that's Earth's supplies, right? That's, you know. And I even tell people too, like, you know, my couch, right? My couch, I've been wanting to get a new couch for probably about, I say, a year now. And then I look at it like, you know, it has some, like, little marks here and there, like, especially on the things, because Egypt, you know, he's using it as his fucking claw thing. Even though I buy him scratchers, he doesn't, or whatever, the pole. He liked the old one, but I couldn't find the old one I got him, and I got them this new scratch pole. He doesn't use it, he uses my couch. So I looked at it like, you know what, my couch isn't that bad, you know what I mean? Like, I'll get a couch when it really messes up, like, you know, Egypt uses it and tears it up just a little bit more, then I'll get a new couch. Because the way I gotta look at it is, like, I'm gonna be what is that called, littering, you know, I'm gonna be polluting, I guess you could say, you know, because this couch I'm sitting in right now, you know, this couch, it's gonna go somewhere, and it's gonna add trash to this planet. It's gonna go to the dumps, you know. So I look at it like, you know, if everybody else can look at it like me, is that if we can hold on to things as long as possible before we throw it out, that can help us buy time of how to save this planet, right? Because the more things people start throwing away faster, the more things people get rid of faster and don't get, you know, like let's say even a sponge, you know, you use a sponge to wash dishes. There's a point where a sponge, when you wash dishes, it's just like, dude, it's nasty as fuck. Like, you shouldn't even be washing dishes with this. And then there's a point where, you know, you got to throw it away. But there's a point where, like, well, the sponge isn't ready to be thrown away yet. Don't throw it away too soon, because you know, it's going to add more trash to this planet faster. So that's why I started, even clothes, like I said, with my clothes, you know, I have clothes for a while. I don't wear them, you know, wear too much, because usually when I work a lot, and when I did, I always had uniforms. So, you know, and I just had workout clothes, or I just had clothes when I go out here and there. And, you know, I told myself, like with anything, socks, underwear, shirts, like, you know, when my socks really get too many holes, I'm going to throw it away. But don't throw it away too soon, or don't throw things away too fast, like my couch, or beddings, or again, food, even whatever it is that you throw away. You guys have to hold on to it as long as possible, or take care of it as long as possible, because again, if everyone starts throwing away things faster, or doesn't, you know, like get the whole use out of it that they should, or maybe it's not eye pleasing and everything because there's a scratch or whatever it is, you know, or the couch is a little bit torn up, so let's throw it away and get a new one. You guys are destroying the planet that much faster, you know, especially everybody's doing it. So, you know what I mean? So eventually, like I said, it's like, hold on to things as much as possible, because until we can figure out what to do with this trash, because right now, from 20 years ago, or even 30 years ago, that trash that everybody was throwing out, it's still here. All the trash that everybody threw out 30 years ago, you know, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you know, all that trash, it's fucking, you know what I mean? It's still here. You know, and that's what I don't think people get, you know. So, yeah, so like I said, you know, I think probably by the end of this year I'll get a new couch, but I would have gotten it sooner, but that's the way I look at it now. That's the way I see things. It's like, nope, the couch is fine. You know, like, look, it's good, you know. The only thing is, like, there's, like, fucking little, you know, like, string, you know, marks and shit and everything, you know. And it's not that bad, so I just look at it like, you know, the sooner I throw this couch out, the faster I add to pollution, which trash is just being buried into Earth's dirt. It's being buried in the ground, or they're building pyramids out of trash, you know, with dirt. So it's just kind of like, damn, dude, like, you know. So yeah, you guys, so hold on to your things as long as possible. Don't throw it out too soon, because you got to remember, it's going to go somewhere. It's going to be somewhere on this planet, unless if they found a way to get rid of trash. And again, even if you litter into outer space, it's still our home. It's still, you know, it's still disgusting. Like, we got to, like, I don't know. I had the vision of, like, why don't we, you know, put our trash inside like some type of rockets or a spaceship. We load it up with trash and then send it into the sun. You know, like, we're so small, you know, and maybe that was the gift for us. You're like, we're so small and the sun is so big that, dude, we could fucking send our trash all day long into the sun and it's just gonna burn up, unless if it affects it in some way or whatever. But I don't think so. Like, we're too tiny, we're too small. You know, and like I said, and again, just fucking load up a spaceship, you know, maybe we'll build a spaceship, right? Or I don't know, whatever you want to call it, a rocket, and we'll start loading our trash on there for a good, who knows how many years, until it fills up, you know. It should fill up after 2 or 3 years, who knows, it should be a big ass rocket, something huge, right? And then all we got to do is send our trash into the sun, and we don't have to worry about polluting our planet anymore, burying it into the ground. I don't have to worry about holding on to things longer because it's going to pollute my planet. I don't have to worry about that anymore, because I know, like, all right, well, I'm not going to take advantage. I'm still going to live the way I used to and hold on to things as long as possible, because I don't want to be that type of person. But at the same time, I don't have to be that bad anymore where I'm holding on to things because I'm thinking of pollution. I'm thinking of the planet, you know? Like, I know the planet's good. We're sending our trash to the sun, you know? But like I said, I feel like I first had to go through what I'm experiencing now to feel this way, you know? Because if I was born in a world where they were already sending out fucking trash to the sun, I never would have the experience or knowledge or feel how it was like to live on a planet where our trash was still being buried into dirt. You know, and again, it affects a lot of things and it sucks. So, yeah, so for now, like I said, you know, hold on to things, you guys, as long as you could, you know, even longer than you should. And then until we could figure out how to get, you know, the trash off this planet, you know, from 30 years ago, 20 years ago to even now, once we figure out how to get this trash out of here, then we don't have to be as bad. We can, you know, let go of things a little bit more faster and not feel as guilty. Because right now, you should feel guilty, you know what I mean? Like, especially if things are being thrown out too soon. Yeah, so, I like wearing this hat sideways. I don't know why. It feels comfortable. So you guys, I have my hat sideways. I know. I just like it that way. This hat was built to be worn sideways. That's how I always felt. I actually, you know, for a while, I never wore my hat forward. I don't know why, but most of my life growing up until I was probably, shit, dude, my mid-20s or something like that, I used to wear hats. All my hats, I used to wear them backwards. That's how I wore my hats, was backwards, right? So all my hats I wore backwards. And I don't know why, but fucking from my mid-20s till now, I just wear my hat forward now. All my hats. And I wear them sideways sometimes. I don't know why, it's my thing. I just like wearing my hat sideways, and some of them I do. But most of the time I wear my hats, you know, like this now. But back then, shit, dude, I used to do, like, nah, not that much. I used to do that more, or I used to wear it backwards. Just the way I like it, you know? Shit. That's just who I am. That's who I am, man. So I'm gonna be like, no, I hope not. I doubt it, but I'm gonna be like 80, 90 years old, you guys. I'm gonna be a wrinkled old man, fucking barely talking. Like, I'm a wrinkled, I'm gonna be like, so, you know, old and shit. And I'm still gonna wear my hat sideways and backwards and dress a certain way, unless if there's a new trend, I guess. But, you know, whatever it is, I'm still gonna do it. Whatever makes me happy. I don't care how old I am, or who was it? Oh, I saw a video. It was Conor McGregor, and Conor McGregor was talking shit to Mayweather a long time ago, but I just saw the video again. And he was making fun of the way Mayweather, like saying, you know, the way he dressed, the way he wore his hat, like he dressed like a kid, you know, or dressed like a, I don't know, like he was saying he dressed like a young person, right? And then, you know, Conor McGregor is telling Mayweather, like, you know, like, what the fuck, you know, you're like, almost 40 years old or this or that. And in some ways I was like, okay, like, what's wrong with the way Mayweather dresses? And like, if he wants to dress, I guess you could call it young, but what is it called? What is the determination of what dressing young and dressing old? Like, yeah, you could dress old and put on like I guess you could call it old people clothes, but why should you put on old people clothes when you get older? Like, that doesn't make sense, you know? Shit. I mean, I'll still fucking wear, I mean, there's only a certain point, like, I'm not gonna wear kid shirts where like not a dinosaur, but like, you know, those little childish things. I'll still wear a shirt with dinosaur. But, you know, those kid stuff, I was like, it's too childish, right? There's a point where the shirt's like too childish, but there's some shirts, like, I don't care if I'm 60 or 70 years old and I see a shirt and, you know, a bunch of 20-year-olds are wearing it, I guess, whatever. I'll just like, fuck yeah, I'll wear it too. Like, I love that. It's badass. Like, I don't know. I just have, and I guess that's the immortal side. You know, like I tell people, when you're immortal, you know, you're young, and you're like as young can be, and you're as old can be at the same time. You know, like when you're immortal, you can go as young as you want to be. You know what I mean? Like, if you like, you know, you could go as young as you want to be, and if you're immortal as well, like, you could go as old as you want to be. It's kind of like I said, it's just because your body doesn't age, you're living forever, you're like, you have the greater knowledge, and you're just like, well, wait a minute, like, you know, you're only young and old based off an illusion of the body, right? The body's giving off an illusion that you're young and you get old, you know. But again, that's the world you guys are born in. But you know, and even myself. But if you guys were born in a world where you never got, you know, let's say you're born in a world where, let's say, you were never young or never old, you're just born immortal. You're just born immortal, or you were born eternal. If you're born immortal or eternal, you never know what it is to feel young, and you never know what it is to feel old, because you were born young and old at the same time. So you're like, well, I was born an immortal, you know what I mean? Like, I'm young and I'm old at the same time, so thus you'll never be able to experience being young getting old, unless if, you know, we're born as mortals to get this experience. Because again, if you guys were always immortals and you were born never young, never young or old, you were born young and old at the same time and never got to experience being young and getting old, I guarantee you, if an opportunity happened, which obviously it already did, if an opportunity ever happened where I said, hey, this is your life, this is the way you always lived it, this is how you see it, and so on, right? I guarantee you, if someone came along and said, hey, I will, give you a new experience, and they're gonna be like, what do you mean? I've been living forever, like forever. And it's like, well, I'll give you a new experience where you're gonna be able to be born again, and you're gonna be born again young. You're gonna grow old. You're gonna know what it is to be young and then get old. And then eventually, after you get old enough and you die, or you die some weird way, then you'll be back to being immortal again, which you'll still have the knowledge of being young and old at the same time, because that's what it is, being born immortal. But you also now have the knowledge of being immortal, which now you got to experience something new, which now you got to be young and then get old and see the effects of being young and getting old, mentally, physically, what the eyes show, what the ears hear, because even the voice changes when you get older, it struggles. So again, if you were already immortal, or you're born immortal, and again, immortals forever, eternity, or you're born eternal for, and you've been living forever, like again, beyond trillions of years, you've already gained all the experience ever. And then I guarantee you, after you've been living for trillions of years, young and old at the same time, if something came to you and said, I'll give you a new experience, and you're going to be able to be born again, and you're going to be born a baby, and you're going to be young, and you're going to grow old, and then guess what? You'll still be safe, because you're going to be able to die and become immortal again, and still have the knowledge of not only being young and old at the same time, because you were born immortal, but now you were born immortal. So now you got to experience being young and then getting old. So now you got two experiences, when for all eternity, for trillions of years, or we'll just say trillions of years, because all eternity, no one can still comprehend that. So let's say trillions of years, you've only had one type of experience of, being young and old. And then now all of a sudden someone comes along and offers you a second experience of how to be young and old. You're going to take it. You're going to do it. And then obviously when you take it and do it, we're here. We're in this world. We're living young and old. And then again, we die. We become immortal again. And then we're just going to be young and old at the same time, because we have so much greater knowledge. Like I said, if I wanted to act like a baby right now, I can literally act like a baby. If I wanted to act like a child, a 5-year-old, I can act like a 5-year-old. If I wanted to act like a 9-year-old, I could do it. I can act like an 18-year-old. I can act like a 25. I can even. I'm not even 50 or 60 or 80 or 90 years old yet. I'm not even 100 years old yet. And guess what? I can act like a 60-year-old, 70-year-old, 80-year-old, or 90-year-old. And not only me, others can do it. So that's what I'm saying is that, but you can't experience that unless if you experience it, or if you don't, you live on a planet, or you live in an area where everyone else is experiencing it. So even though you didn't experience it, you're still getting the experience through others. You know, others are still giving you that experience. And there's some people in this world that give you such an experience through them, you tell yourself, hell no, I'm never going to do that. Or why do I need to do this if I already seen 10 people do it and I saw the results? Or why do I need to do that if I already seen, you know, like, I'm not going to do that. I was like, I already seen 10, 20, 100, 1,000 people do that and look at the results. I was like, I am not doing that. That's my experience. And again, you know, I guess you could say, like, you see someone getting stabbed with a knife. And if someone says, well, you got to get stabbed with a knife as well because it's part of getting the experience, right? I mean, I know what it is to feel certain types of pain, especially that, right? And other things, right? Torture, right? Torture is nothing compared to getting, I mean, getting stabbed with a knife is nothing than torture, right? So let's catch this. We use torture. Fuck the knife. So let's say you're watching all these others getting tortured, right? And then, you know, they're getting tortured because that's the experience they had to take on. And, you know, it's like, well, you're going to have to experience torture because, again, it's all about gaining all the experience towards knowledge you could. And you can't gain the knowledge unless if you experience it. So some people, they will torture themselves or let others torture them. And again, I watch, you know, because I've already been tortured, but now I just watch and I watch others being tortured. And I say, you know what, there's no point in being, you know, I didn't need to be tortured because I already seen it so many times. I didn't need it, but I wanted it. And then when I did receive torture, now it feels like a gift because now I get to see others being tortured. And, you know, when you see all of that, you know, you just say, well, I don't need to be tortured again because I'm getting the experience of others being tortured. But again, there are some tortures I won't go through because I've already seen others go through it. And I was like, nah, I'm too prideful. I'm too, like, I would never do that ever. You know, I'm just going to get the experience through someone else doing it, you know. And again, we could talk about evil. You know, there's people out there. They're doing evil things. You know, there's people out there doing a lot of evil things, and they can do it, and I'll see it, but I'll tell myself, I'll never do that. My experience of certain types of evil is just seeing someone else doing it, living the moment through them, feeling it, and then asking myself, how the fuck did they do it? I can never do that. How did they do it? You know, and that's when I have to just tell myself, like, well, they did it so I can see and feel and experience through their eyes, through their feelings, through what I see, what's, you know, through like their, you know, their thoughts, you know, and allows you to understand things a little bit deeper where you get a choice. I could do this, I could do that, I could do this up to a certain point, but man, I've already seen the results of everybody doing this. I'm never going to do that. That's my experience, is just watching others experiencing it or doing it or whatever it is, you know, like that's my experience. So yeah, but like I said, you know, that's just what it is. So anyways, you know what would have been cool? Damn, Devil, I wish you were here, Night of Devils. If you were here, I think I have your number. I have your number on my Twitch and everything. Man, I could... Fuck, dude, I could call you. So while I'm streaming, dude, I can actually talk to someone on the phone. I could actually talk to you on the phone while I'm streaming. I thought that would be really cool. But I just started, dude. I've only been on for... I mean, when I stream, usually, it's like 8 hours, 7, 10. Sometimes it's 12, you know? And, you know, it's come. But today, like I said, I don't expect my stream to go too long. Number one, my battery in my phone won't last that long. And I know there's people out there that put the charger in the phone, but that fucking destroys your battery, man, like bad. So I looked at it like, unless if it's a really, really important stream that I gotta keep on going, then yeah, I'll put the charger in the phone while I'm streaming. But to make sure I preserve my battery and everything, you know, I try to just not put the charger in the phone and just go as long as it allows me to. And again, it's just going back to before I never thought that way. And then now the way I think, I said, man, the faster I destroy my cell phone, you know, by not taking care of my cell phone, the faster I destroy it, the faster I throw it away, and it's going to end up on Earth buried in dirt, or it's going to end up as trash somewhere on Earth, right? So again, I look at it, even my cell phone, even my PC, even a lot of things. I said I need to hold on to or preserve it or take care of it as long as I could, because the faster I destroy it, or the more I don't take care of it, then the faster my shit's gonna end up being trash on Earth. And that's, you know, that's something, you know, I feel like everybody should see or look at as, you know, I didn't look at this before as that, you know, I didn't care in some ways. And then I don't know, man, just my life, dude, like the way I seen things, and one thing would change after another, or this would happen, and things would happen to me that doesn't happen to others, or things would happen to me that has happened to others where I'm just like, that person's crazy, or that's stupid, or like, I was kind of like one of those people, like, well, I'm gonna die anyways, you know what I mean, like, so what's the point, you know? And fuck, dude, as soon as I became immortal, or I started realizing, I started, you know, getting there, I was like, man, everything changes. You know, like I said, a mortal would be like, well, what's the point? I'm gonna live and die anyways, you know, like, by the time this planet fills up with trash, I'll be dead in heaven or hell, whatever, you know. And so when you get more people like that throughout each generation, then it adds more trash, it adds more carelessness, and it destroys things faster. Excuse me. It just destroys things faster, even this planet, right? So the people who are like myself now, that are immortal, and know that, you know, we got to preserve things, you know, we're gonna live, you know, we got to make sure, if we're gonna live forever, we got to make sure that everything else is gonna live forever with us, including planets, stars, animals, insects, plants, you know, you name it, everything that's come to existence into life. We got to tell ourselves, like, man, all of this is important, you know, it's all here, it's all for a reason. Give me a second. It's all for a reason, you know. So I look at it like, okay, well, if we can make ourselves immortal, then why can't we make this planet immortal? Why can't we make animals immortal, insects, plants, you know? We are. Why can't they be? Because like I said, well, everything else dies off, and you know, dust in the wind, right? Just dies off. We don't, and we're just gonna be dipping into hell. While all these planets are falling apart, stars, everything's just falling apart, we're just dipping into hell. Because we made ourselves immortal, but we never thought to make everything else around us immortal, to live with us. It's like, damn, we're outliving planets and stars, and we can even outlive the universe. Easy, easy. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that can easily agree with me now, and, you know, saying, fuck yeah, we can outlive this universe, easy. But that's not the point. The point is helping the universe and helping heaven and helping other things live as long as we do. You know what I mean? Because we could prove ourselves to anyone we want of how long we can live, or we've been living for, or how immortal we really are. But I feel like a true immortal would prove themselves by making planets immortal, stars immortal, this whole universe, let's make it immortal, you know. But again, nobody thinks that way, because we just live and die, and we'll just, oh well, I don't need to worry about it. But if you really didn't live and die, and you realize you just lived and died temporarily just to come back, let's say you're coming back to Earth to live forever, I guarantee you wouldn't be thinking that way, or saying that, or, you know, doing, you know, you'd be changed. You'd be like, holy shit, I didn't even give a fuck about this planet, because I just thought I lived and died and went somewhere else. It's not my problem. And in reality, I lived and died, and I came back to this planet, and now I'm creating my own hell. I'm creating my own nightmare, you know? But you didn't think that way before. You had to die, get shown the truth. You thought you went to heaven, or you thought you went somewhere else, and then in reality, all you did is come back to a planet that you were already destroying. You came back to a planet as an immortal that you were already destroying. So what you're going to do is you're going to save it now, and you're going to save other planets in this universe and other universes. But guess what? It takes time. You know what I mean? Which is fine, because we're going to live forever. That was the whole point, is buying time for immortals You know what I mean? Where they can tell themselves and think to themselves like, well, that's going to take some time. Well, yeah, that's the point. The point is creating time. Because if you don't create enough time, then I guarantee you're going to hate being immortal. You're like, holy shit, I'm so immortal, I outlive time. And it's true, and everybody knows I'm telling the truth. It's so easy now to outlive time. You know, technically time, they say, has been around for 14 billion years, but let's just say time has been around for trillions of years. Let's say time has been around for quadrillions of years. I don't know, whatever it is, right? Billions of times, trillions of years, time has been around. You can outlive that. You know, as an immortal, you can outlive time. But that's the scary part, you know, because you can outlive time and go past time, but in reality, if you're going to do all of that, you're going to have to find a way to buy time. And buying time means that when you look at something or look at anything, you tell yourself as an immortal, wow, that's going to take some time. And then all of a sudden, it's a blessing, it's a gift from God, right? You're like, wow, finally we get something put in front of us that's going to take some time. And if it's not, it might even take forever. And then all of a sudden, everybody wants to be immortal now. Or they feel that being an immortal is a gift because time was bought. And now they can look at things as like, that is going to take some time. Well, before, they used to say like, man, I could, you know, there's like, it's just hard. Like before, it was like it never took enough, like it was just done so fast, you know, it was just done so fast that there was no time involved. They didn't need time because it was so fast. So now as an immortal and learning how to buy time, and you know, and again, you can't do this until you become a superior immortal. It's only going to be that superior immortal that's going to be able to buy time for other immortals, you know what I mean? And then as soon as that superior immortal starts buying time for those other immortals, then guess what? Everyone, all the immortals are going to start coming together and they're going to start buying time for each other. And we're going to figure out ways how to buy time for each other, you know, because it was the trigger. And then again, now you're an immortal and you're like, hell yeah, dude, I can't wait to live forever because it's there. We're going to be able to live forever now. Like there has been so much time that was bought that we can now look at things and say that's going to take some time. Well, before, by the time we looked at it, we did it. It was completed or was done or whatever time was involved with whatever was going on in that moment. You know, that's what immortals do. You know, you're just like, well, next, damn, all right, like, you know. But now, like I said, with more, you know, like immortality mixed with being mortal, you're just like, damn, dude. Like, we bought time for the immortals, man. Even the Eternals. Again, I speak for the men and I speak for the guys. But even for the Eternals, you know, you know, I found a way to help buy time, you know. And now it's like you can look at the universe, and now you can look at beyond the universe. You can look at anything you want now in life. Even, you know, a tree or a planet or a star, whatever it is. However, what we ever got to do to fix it or make something or destroy something. Now we could say like, fuck yeah, dude. We like slowed things down. We know what we are, who we are, what was going on. Now that we bought time, even if we tried, right? Even if we tried to take it on as fast as we couldn't because the time that was bought with you looking at it or seeing the results, or the data, now as an immortal or even eternal, you could say that's going to take some time. And I believe, and I know, obviously, that's the greatest gift you can offer an immortal or an eternal. If you're immortal or eternal, the greatest gift you can offer them, or I can offer you guys, you know, if you are immortal or eternal out there, is time. You know, and guess what? Like, it can be bought in many different ways, obviously, you know. That's why I look at it like, why is money still existing? You know, it's so stupid that money still exists when there's other ways we can do this without involving money. And it's gonna really fucking, you know, clear things up. Like, who was who, what was what, who did what to get this money, or what went on. Or like, dude, you guys are gonna see so much, dude. You're gonna be like, I can't even believe I was living on the same planet as these fucking people, these idiots. Like, you know, I was like, I can't even believe that. Like, even though you didn't know it was happening, you're still gonna tell yourself, like, I can't even believe I was allowing this to happen, or I allowed that to happen. I can't believe that. You know, because again, you're connected to this planet now, then you get connected to the universe, but again, there's so much going on to this planet. I just keep telling people, like, kind of connect to yourself to this planet right now. Focus on this planet, because right now the universe isn't that important right now. Yeah, maybe there's bigger things going on in the universe, but for us right now living on this planet, we don't need to worry about that shit. What we need to worry about is this planet right now. You know, especially if you're gonna live and die and come back to this planet and realize, man, I was destroying my home the whole time. But again, you don't look at this planet as your home. You don't look at it like you're destroying it as a mortal. Until you die and become immortal or eternal, come back as an immortal or eternal, and you realize, like, we got a planet to save. There's too much going on here. Like, you guys have no idea. This is our home. And think about it like this. If Earth wasn't your home, why did you come back? Right? Why did you come back? If Earth wasn't your home, why did you come back? You know, why didn't you go to your home in heaven? Why didn't you go to your home in hell? Why didn't you go to your home somewhere else in this universe? Why didn't you go there? Because your home was Earth. So if you die, and everybody that dies becomes immortal or eternal. You know, everyone that dies becomes immortal or eternal, okay? So remember that. And then when you die and become immortal or eternal, if Earth is your home, you're coming back to Earth. If another planet was actually your home, that's where you're going to go. And you're going to stay there. If heaven was your home, that's where you're going to go. You're going to stay there. If hell was your home, that's where you're going to go, and you're going to stay there. And like I said, with Earth, yeah, you're going to come back, and we're going to have to stay here, but I look at it differently. Like, I found ways where we don't just need to stay on Earth. We can do things differently than everybody else can do, you know, across anywhere. But they don't deserve it. You know, when I look at others around this planet or on the internet, or I study everything, I'm like, man, nobody deserves it, dude. I mean, maybe the rare few do, like, you know, obviously the less than 1%, but the rest of the 99% or more, they don't deserve shit, dude. And like I always told everybody, it's the ones who don't deserve it is the ones who have everything. And again, it's like the test, you know. It's like the people who were given everything, you know, the ones who didn't deserve it, and they were given money, they were given positions, they were given power, and they didn't deserve it, and they even know they didn't. It was their test, you know, because why are all these other people, you know, like, why haven't they been tested like that? You know, and it's like, well, because they lived a good life, you know, like, why keep testing the good people? You know, like, you don't want to keep testing good people. Like, yeah, you could test good people, like, but it's like they're good people. You know, you got to make room, and you got to test the godly people. You got to test, obviously, evil people, you know. And then even good people, they can test in their own ways and all that, but you don't want to get involved testing others, because then you become them. You become involved with it. That's why I always tell people, you know, like I said, if you're going to test anyone and you want to really prove yourselves, test a god. Go find a god and test them, and then go find another god and test them. You know, find a goddess and test them. You know, and then usually when you guys all come together, when you find evil, you punish evil, right? Evil is, you know, a godly person should always be tested. A good person, they shouldn't always be tested, but be there for them to test them at times, you know. And then an evil person, they should never be tested. They should just be punished. Evil people should be punished. But guess what? Evil people are being tested, and all they're doing is failing the test over and over again, because there's nobody doing anything about it. You know, so evil people gets punished, and godly people and good people get tested. But obviously it's the godly people who should be tested more than anybody else, because, you know, a godly person can be just as dangerous than an evil person, or if not even more dangerous than an evil person. you know? And everybody should know that, because evil is just evil, good is just good. With a godly person, you have no idea what they can do. You know, like they could do everything in your eyes perfectly and it's good and that was their plan, and then you find out, damn, that shit was just all evil. They tricked me. You know, well, yeah, they're godly, they're a god. That's what they do. You know, aren't you? You know, and that's why I even told. I think I have it written somewhere where it's true. It's like I always tell people, you know, it's the knowledge from a god that creates children, or the knowledge from gods that creates children, not sex. You know, people have a misunderstanding, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, you gotta have sex to have children or have kids or this and that, right? Nope. If you're a godly person or you're a god with a greater knowledge but your own type of knowledge, you can easily turn anyone into a kid. Unless if you find out they are equal, you know, like if I try to, you know, you can turn people into kids, man. You know, like I said, it doesn't matter how old or young, whatever it is, like it's your knowledge of what you see things. And again, just because you have a different type of knowledge that certain other gods don't have, doesn't mean, like, you know what I mean, you're not as important as everybody else. The ones who are not important are the ones, number one, don't look at themselves as a god. The ones who ain't important are the ones that obviously, like I said, they just think that they live and die, because technically, you know, that's what they're doing, but it doesn't really work out that way. So like I said, just yeah, I forgot what I was talking about, but you guys get it anyway. So dude, it's so funny because this is how I first started off my streams a long time ago, just with the cell phone before I got my PC. It's a little bit different, because I swear to God, dude, man, I wish I had those videos. I probably did a cell phone stream, right? I did a stream on my cell phone. I remembered, like, when I first did it or so on my other phone, I streamed, I think, like I said, it was like, oh man, 9 hours, 10 hours, just sharing knowledge. I'm not sure. And then I did another stream on a cell phone. I did a fucking another, like, 8 hours or something. And then I did another stream on the cell phone. I did 7 hours. So all the hours, you guys, that I actually put on the PC, you know, those hours I put on, I actually did that before I got a PC on a cell phone. I know the clips are there. I have certain clips, but I don't have those videos, which I know Twitch has them. Hopefully I could get them one day. But I have those old streams and everything where I just did it on a cell phone, and all I did is talk and interact and stuff like that. And you know, I never pulled anything up on a PC. And then when I got the PC, yeah, it's cool, you know, because it's a different interaction or a different way to interact, right? Or show things, I guess you could say. And cell phone's cool too, because you're not on the PC or you're not distracted by certain things or thrown off. It's just here. That's why I like a cell phone. Like if people, I had more people in my chat, then I'm able to like interact with more people. Like, you know, on my cell phone, I'm like, yeah, I'm interacting, and you know, it's not so much going on the PC or being distracted or this or that. I'm just like conversating, you know, I'm just interacting with you. So it's a different experience. But again, with the cell phone, the whole point is like, I want you guys to see me interact with others. I kind of want to see what they bring out of me, because it's just always going to depend on the, you know, the other person. Like what do they bring out of me, you know, like the good side, the bad side, the godly side. Are they going to bring out conversations out of me that I've already had with someone else or had with others? Or are they going to bring up a new conversation that nobody's heard before? Which that's what I want, right? Which it will happen. It's going to happen. But again, I think the only thing that's going to hold me back from doing it live is the cell phone service. That's the only thing that sucks. But again, it's not going to stop me. I'm still going to record the video and I'll just upload it on YouTube. So now it's cool, you know, so I look at it like, yeah, man, whew, finally get the yawn, get a little tired. So I look at it like I'm going to be doing kind of like 3 things for now, which will be enough, those 3 things, and those 3 things is doing PC streams like the way I've been doing it. You know, like Discord recap and this and that, and doing how I do it. You know, I'm not going to always do the same thing, but I'm gonna do what I do on the PC. You know, I like it. It's fun, and I get, you know, I love interacting with others in that way. And then I'll do PC streams where I'll do video games. No, doing what I normally do. I mainly play Call of Duty. I know it's fucking gone to shit, dude, and the game pisses me off, but I'm trying to stay loyal until I get maybe a few other gamer buddies or something that could pull me away and say, hey, let's do I'll never play Valorant, whatever that is. It looks too boring to me. It's kind of like Counter-Strike, I guess you could say. I'll probably do Apex Legends. I've been seeing people switch to Apex Legends, and I could do that, but I just need some gamer buddies to pull me away from Warzone and say, hey, let's do some Apex Legends and, teach me some tricks of the trade, because I know everything about Call of Duty already. Hopefully they fix their shit, but we'll see, dude. It seems like no matter what, fucking Call of Duty just keeps getting worse and worse, man. I think it's purposely being done, right? They're trying to destroy it before it's even reborn again, right? Destroy it before it's reborn again through Microsoft. So yeah, so I'm gonna do the normal PC streams I do. I'm gonna do Call of Duty, some of that. I gotta set up my mouse and fucking Azeron, and then I'm gonna do cell phone streams. I'm gonna do streams out, and have others interact with me, and you guys can see, firsthand what happens, or where some of you are gonna trip out. I'm telling you, you're gonna trip out. Yeah, so I'll do those 3 things, and those 3 things will keep it busy. And again, I'm not like those other streamers that stream every fucking day, unless if I streamed every day, let's say not every day, I would be honest with you guys, if I got like some type of contract or sponsor, or I was able to make a living off of this, right? I would want to stream 4 days out of the week. I'd probably stream either Monday through Friday, or maybe switch it up to no, 4 days. Monday through Thursday. I'm sorry. So I'll probably do Monday through Thursday. And then sometimes I might switch it up where I'll do Tuesday through Friday. 4 days. So out of the 7 days, I'll give you guys, 4 days. I take 3 days off, and I give everyone 4 days. And then, of course, even though I'm taking those 3 days off, I'm still interacting with the others in Discord, doing my thing on Instagram, other things. Maybe I won't be as active, but I'll still, going to be doing all of that, what I've been doing. So 4 days, and then I'll probably stream. I'm more I'd rather stream in the morning. I'm not too much. I know all my streams have been later in the afternoon and gone on to nighttime, and that was only because my past streams I was working. So I'll get off of work, I'll get home and fucking get all readied up, and then I'll stream late at night all the way to the morning, and then go to work the next day, So I was doing that. But if I'm not working, and let's say I make this out of my job, and again, I got my own business, which my own business ties into this. That's what I love, that my business that I run ties into this, where it works perfectly with the live streaming and this kind of stuff. I'm like, wow, fuck, perfect. So yeah, so if I get so I can make a living off of this, I would stream 4 days out of the week, and then take 3 days off. Which again, am I really taking those 3 days off? And then I'd probably want to stream from 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. I'd probably want to stream from 10 to 3, maybe 9 to 3 or 10 to 2. I want to get that type. And again, knowing me, you guys, I'll be like, oh, today I'm going to try to set a schedule, and I'm going to try to stream from 10 to 2 or 3 o'clock, right? And then knowing me, I'll probably end up streaming longer, I'll probably end up streaming to 5, or who knows, I think it's cool because it'll give me an excuse, all right, forever, I get it in there, I get my it's like working, I get it in there from, 10 to 3, 10 to 2, 9 to 3, whatever it is. That's what everybody's expecting out of me, and obviously if I give them more, it'd be more like an appreciation, and then I'll get others appreciating me more, where they're just, wow, this past week, he's only supposed to be streaming from 10 to 2 or 10 to 3, and he's been streaming from 10 to 6, 10 to 7. And, I'm just like, well, I was enjoying myself, or it just happened, or, that's how it goes. And again, I'm more like where I want to set things up too, where there's things, man, I might, might not stream. Let's say I won't stream for a week, because I'm setting up a big stream, like I do want to stream like for some churches, I want to go to some churches, or I want to interact with people that, not just churches, but other areas, and I want to set things up and do a live stream and with them, but I know there's some things that takes time to set up or whatever, so, but I just look at it like, dude, if I'm streaming, I'm like 4 days out of the week, you know what I mean? And right now, currently, I'm only streaming like 1 or 2 days out of the week. Me taking a week off to set something up big, like not just a live stream, but something bigger, that ain't shit, I always tell people, like, I upload all my past videos mostly on my highlights, that's just what I used highlights for, as loading my past videos. So if anybody gets bored or whatever, they want to, what's that called? Not interact, or like they want to, like, I don't know, what's that? Fuck, I lose words sometimes. They want to experience me, then I have other videos, you know what I mean? Like, you guys could catch me on my past streams, That's why I saved them, but I also save them because there's important knowledge in there people should be catching on to, but they're not, so they're not doing it. Where's Egypt? I wanted to get Egypt on stream. Oh well. Yeah, so that's my plans. That's what I want to do. Let me see. Yeah, that's it. Like, pretty much, there's certain things I wanted to talk about, and I think that's everything. So pretty much, I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Now you guys know for my future plans, I guess you could say. And yeah, I'm only gonna be on stream right now for a little bit longer. I'm waiting for someone to pull up in chat. I want to see if someone pulls up in chat, and if someone pulls up in chat, then like I said, then I can have I want to start a conversation and see what kind of conversation gets started up, Or again, if Knight of Devils shows up, dude, fuck, I have his number. I'm gonna try to say, hey, dude, let me call you on stream. You won't be able to see his number. I'll just dial it, and boom, dude, I'll be able to talk to live stream myself fucking on a cell phone talking to Knight of Devils. Put him on speaker, dude. I'll put him on speaker and shit, and that'd be sick, dude. I feel like me and Knight of Devils has had some good conversations on Whispers, I guess they call it. I call it DM, but Whispers on the Twitch. We've been talking through there a little bit. I posted a couple of our conversations on my Discord. Pretty interesting. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Sad Clown. Like I said, me and Sad Clown were the only ones that got into these different conversations, and that's cool because he has a little bit of a different look at it than Sad Clown. I feel like Sad Clown was a little bit younger and had a younger look at it, and then Knight of Devils is a little bit older and has an older outlook at it. And again, we're all young and old, but Sad Clown just had the same as Knight of Devils, when it came to seeing and understanding things. But Knight of Devils obviously is a little bit more different based off of our conversations, and then Sad Clown is a little bit different based off conversation. So, but I would love to see those two talk, right? That's what I like to see. Like, when you meet two people that, are a little bit similar but different. Me, I'm like, damn, I don't want to talk to Knight of Devils. I don't want to talk to Sad Clown. I want to live stream or experience myself, or it doesn't have to be a live stream, but I want to experience fucking Knight of Devils and Sad Clown interacting with each other. And then, of course, there'll be others like that where, damn, I don't want them experiencing me and them. Like, I want to see, and I want others to see these two people experience each other, or these three people experience each other. So pretty much what it is I want, I know, like, when I feel and know, like, these people need to talk or interact with each other, like, I'm like, damn, that'd be so cool. And again, being in the live streaming business in some ways now, it's like a lot of others, like, I want to live stream that. And I even tell Gage, like, damn, let's live stream this, or like, hey, we can live stream that. And he's like, damn, dude, you want to live stream everything? I was like, yeah, but just because I want to doesn't mean I do. I want to, but I don't ever have anyone helping me, or I don't have the opportunity. I'm just doing everything on my own, man. And it sucks, man, because I have so much potential and I have so much in me right now to fucking just do what I do, man. Like, you have no joke. But number one, I'm still holding myself back. Number two, I hold myself back because it's only me. I need to focus on other things. But as soon as I make this my, like, as soon as live streaming or this and all that, as soon as it starts becoming like my main focus, and it helps me make a living off of doing what I do, dude, you guys have no idea how much going to open up. Plus, I need others helping me. I need some people, you know. I need the right people in my life to help me with my dream, what I see, my visions, what the route I want, like what I'm gonna do. And like I said, nobody really seen my full potential yet, and I don't think you guys ever will. But you guys will always see like the greater level of potential I have, because it takes others to bring it out of me, right? Like, it takes others to bring it out of me. It takes energy. It takes, like, you know, I mean, again, I could do it on my own, but it's always fun seeing me interact with others, especially what you see with who they are. I mean, you guys already know everything about me in some ways, but again, yeah, I'm holding back, man. Shit, dude. I like, even any stream I did, I'm still holding back. I'm still not able to be myself. But at the same time, like I said, me being myself isn't just always being like this person. Like, I could be human. I do want to, you know, I'm human. I've been human my whole life. I can, you know, I could be human too. It's just sometimes it's hard now, you know, like when you go in so far and deep and found everything you find about yourself, it's like, damn, it's really hard to go back to be human again. You know, yeah, I've been human, or I experienced it, or I thought that, or I felt it, and I could be human anytime I want. But, you know, sometimes it is, you know, in certain moments, it is hard to be human. But I could be human. You guys can see me as that. It's weird. I'm like normal. I really am normal. That's why you guys always see me, just me doing what I do, you know, on stream. But, God, I wish some of these Twitch streamers or people I interact with, I wish you guys got to experience me off stream. Like, off stream, it's weird. I'm still the same person, but I'm more like, okay, try not to talk about too much what you talk about on stream. Just, you know, be, you know, like, talk about this and have fun about that, joke around this, and just be human, right? That's what I tell myself, just be human. And I can do it, you know, and all it is like, okay, on stream, this is who I am. Off stream, I'm still the same person, and I could still do all of that and talk about all that, but off a stream, I just want to have human conversations or have fun or this or that, or if sometimes it does end up being a deep conversation that I usually do on stream, I don't mind doing it off stream, no big deal. But the thing is, like, man, I wish people could experience me off stream and see who I am and about, not always on stream. This, you know, like I said, I say character, but this character I am is very real, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just turn it off because it's who you are. You know, but again, like, people got this perception nowadays that the word character is meaning like, oh, it's just a character, it's not real. It's like, well, like I explained before on a live stream, is that I felt like my character nowadays, like, my character is being human. Like, damn, like, I've already gone, like, dude, it's like, that's the character I have to play now. Like, my character is being human, so others are trying to be a character of this or a character of that, or an actor being this or an actress being that. You know, it's like, dude, I can do all of that. You know, that's who I am. I'm all of you. You know what I mean? I'm all of that. Like, you know, that, you know, like, those characters already. But, like, I gotta be human. You know, you gotta learn how to be a human character, you know? And I guess that goes like, you know, who knows? If you're born a vampire, an alien, or whatever, you weren't born human, right? You're going to have to be like me. You're still going to have to learn how to be human. You're going to still have to act to be human. You're still going to have to, like, you know, like, if you are, let's say, a vampire or a werewolf or an alien, you got to get into character and play the human part. You're like, damn, I'm an alien. I don't want no one finding out. So I got to get into character and be human. Damn, I'm a vampire. I don't want no one to find out. So I got to play a character and become human. You know, become a person, you know, a person like that. You know, like, you got to play that character. And again, as me being an immortal war angel now, and knowing I'm an immortal war angel, and there's all the proof in the world, around the world, who I am, and within people, right? My proof of who I am is also within people, right? And you know, so since I've, you know, gotten to that point, I realize now I'm just like others out there, where my character that I need to play is human. I'm gonna have to play a human character. I mean, I'm sort of doing that right now. I'm playing a human character, but then as soon as I start talking the way I do, or telling you certain things, or being who I am, I mean, I've gotten this before where a lot of people would be like, damn, he's not human. Humans don't talk that way. Humans don't come see, or and you know, like, I don't do what humans could do. The things I'm doing, humans cannot do, because they cannot pick up what I'm like. They can, but it's going to be a lie. Or they can, but it's not gonna. They could try, but there's no way in hell a human can do what an angel can do. There's no way in hell a human can do what a god can do. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way in hell a human can do certain things with, you know, what we can do. And like I said, but again, you know, there are certain things as a god or an angel or a devil or a demon or a superior, or whatever you want to call yourself. There are things that humans can do that you can't do. So that's the benefits of, you know, becoming a character, studying a human, becoming one of them. And then eventually we come to today, where you're like, well, what the fuck is even human? Right? Like, you know, you kind of tell yourself, like, what's you, like, I think I'm human right now, but I'm like, am I? Or like, do I really act human off stream? Like, and then, you know, then you see yourself the way you act, and then you're seeing even others, right, that are even more out there than you are, more weird than you are, talking, like, whatever it is, and you're just like, damn, that makes me feel comfortable, because what is human? And again, even when I see a lot of these Twitch streamers, you know what I mean, and I'm like, man, these Twitch streamers, some of them are so out there and weird and crazy. It makes me feel better, because it's like, you know, like, now it makes me feel like we're not, like, what is human? You know, like, what is human? Like, we gotta kind of have an idea. And then you guys gotta remember, you even have human rights, right? In Saudi Arabia, you know what I mean? They have an issue with your human rights, you know, in Saudi Arabia. I believe it's human rights over there. And you just ask yourself now, like, what is human? Like, yeah, I can act human, and I have to play the character of being human, because I don't want no one finding out who I am. I want to blend in with everyone else. But when you start trying to blend in, right? You're trying to blend in with everyone else on being human. You're starting to realize, like, okay, like, I thought I was, you know, like, you know, like, you just see everybody else, and you start to realize, like they can't even act human. Like, we try to act human, we try to be human, but it's just gotten to the point now where, like I said, what is human? What is a human anyways? Is it just what we look like? Is it what we act like? Is it the way we think? Is it, like, what is it? Like, I know what an angel is, easy. I know what a devil is, easy. I know what a goddess is, easy. I know what a god, you know, God is. Like, I know a lord, I know what that, easy, you know, or emperor, easy, you know, like, anything to do with that kind of stuff, I'm like, easy, I know what that is. There, anybody should know and feel and understand, that's easy. But human, like, if everybody like myself that's not human, but you try to act human and play the character of a human and try to hide yourself as a human, you know, as we all look around at each other now, we kind of like look at it like, holy shit, again, what is human? Like, is it just the learning experience? You know, is it really someone with 5 hands and 5 toes and 2 arms and 2 legs, 2 eyes, and like, is that human? Like, you know, but even though you can look human, you still doesn't mean you're human, because you could just look human. So again, what is human nowadays? Nobody knows what human is, or being human. So that's another one to think about, right? So yeah, I'm a little vape. So yeah, you know, so, you know, that's just what it is. Damn, man, like, out of all days, right? This is what I told myself. I was like, damn, like, usually if no one's in my chat, I can easily entertain myself. You know, like, I'll be on the PC doing things, interacting, this and that. I feel like just right now though, like damn, this is the moment where I'd really love to have some people on my chat, especially like interacting with, because there's like again, this would be like the perfect opportunity to like really interact with me because there's no PC in front of me. And you know what's cool too, and I'm gonna give you guys, tell you guys something, and this is the truth, and you guys know what I'm talking about. When I'm on PC, I felt like when I'm talking, I'm very sporadic. I'm like talking about this and I'm jumping this way. And then I'm talking about this and I'm jumping that way. Or I'm talking about something and I don't finish what I'm saying and I start a new conversation about something else without finishing the old conversation. And I noticed that the reason why I'm doing that is, and I think I explained to you guys, is I'm thinking of many things at once. You know, I'm thinking like, don't forget to check your OBS. It doesn't cut off. Don't forget to check your chat when someone writes to you. Don't forget to take a break in 30 minutes to get some water and put on some music. What's the next song you want to put up? What's this, like when you're live streaming, you're thinking of on a PC. You're thinking of, I am at least thinking of so many things at once. Like what I want to talk about next. What's the next route I want to go? What's the next song? What type of music? When I come back, what should I jump to? Or this, that. Or sometimes I know what I'm going to do and I come back on stream and I change my mind and jump to something else. So again, I did notice on PC, since there's more things going on and more to think about, when I am interacting through my speech, sometimes, like I said, it's clear, it's there, but I notice sometimes, again, I jump to one thing, I'm sporadic, I jump to one thing to the nether, I don't finish the conversation and I'll start a new one or whatever it is. But again, it's just because I'm trying to think ahead and I'm trying to think of so many things at once of what I want to do, and you'll never guess it because I do a pretty damn good job of hiding it. But yeah, and then on a cell phone, obviously I don't need to worry about checking chat because it actually just pops up on my screen to let me know someone wrote me. I don't need to worry about what song to play next or, you know, this or that. Obviously I don't take breaks like I do on a PC because, you know, like I want to go get me some water right now. I'm fucking thirsty as hell. But like I said, you know, and yeah, you know, so I noticed I would interact a lot better. It'd be a lot different, like being on a cell phone, talking to people in chat compared to a PC, you know. A PC has a little bit more distractions, and then a cell phone, you're just holding something, talking, you know. And then again, less to think about. So, you know, things that I talk about come out a little bit more different than me being on a PC. So, man, my nose, you know, it is true, you guys. My nose, every time I stream, my nose gets a little bit plugged up. And I notice my nose is never plugged up. It's always good. But I notice what it is I think it's this. Like, when I put on a mask or when I put on a bandana or when I put something on, my nose gets a little bit plugged up. And I've noticed all my other streams, dude, my nose, it'll be fine. I don't have a plugged up nose. And then all of a sudden I notice every single time, right when I'm about to stream, my nose gets plugged up. Or when I start my stream and talk, my nose gets plugged up. And I think it's more the mask. You know, that's what's crazy is because they say, oh, wear masks, you know, coronavirus, this and that. You know, wear a mask. And I'm just like, damn, dude, it's kind of weird. Because even when I wear masks in a store, you know, I'll go to a store and I was required to wear a mask, my nose would get plugged up. And I'm just like, damn, dude, I'm tired of wearing, you know, I don't wearing a mask and shit when I'm on stream because, you know, it's part of that. But I hated wearing masks when I went out places because I'm just like, I can't breathe for real. Like, my nose gets plugged up. Like right now, it's all plugged up. And it's every time I wear a mask. So I hated it when I went out, you know, places to wear a mask. It's some bullshit. But like I said, shit. I do my streams or the way I promote myself, I'm always wearing a mask. That's funny, huh? But yeah, so my nose gets plugged up, you guys. Fucking mask, dude. I think it has to be the mask. Because I've done some streams where I took this off, and I think it was like towards the end of the stream, I just took this off. And my nose it wasn't as plugged up, you know? So it's the mask. But again, look at it like this. If the government is really telling us to wear masks and we're wearing it out in public, it's like, what about people like me where my nose gets plugged up? And maybe that's happening to everyone. They're just not saying or noticing it. But yeah, it just seems like when you breathe in your own carbon dioxide or whatever it's called, It seems like your nose, yeah, since it's not getting enough oxygen, you could feel like it just plugged up. You know, it's like it's like your nose plugs up, and it's like, feed me oxygen. I want oxygen. Fuck this shit coming from your mouth right here. I want fresh oxygen. So it plugs itself up on its own, you know? So, ooh, I got good breath. Yeah, I love my breath. So, yeah. Damn, dude, you know what I should do? You know it'd be pretty damn funny, because Night of Devils gave me his number. I should just surprise him and just call him on stream right now and say, hey, dude, you gave me your number. You know, you didn't say when to call you or when not to call you, so I just decided to call you right now on live stream and to conversate with you. But I don't want to do it that way, dude. You know, like, I want to do it where he pops up in my chat and like, hey, Devil, I'm going to call you right now, dude. Let's talk. But the longer this stream is happening, the longer it's starting to feel like it's probably not going to happen. But another day, even when I do my PC stream, I'm just going to put the phone up, my other phone number in the PC. See, if I called Night of Devils on my cell phone, he will have my actual number, which I don't care. He seems like a very trusting, cool guy, for which I hope, right? Fuck. Don't like. It's like they say, never trust the devil. It's like, damn, dude, like, they say don't trust the devil, and here I'm trusting the Night of Devils? Like, what the fuck? That's even more dangerous to trust. I trust the dude. I'll trust my number. But if I do it from the PC, obviously I got to get that WhatsApp number. I already have one. And I'll just download it in the PC, the application, and then I can use my PC to call out, or, you know, I'll call you through that. But I thought it'd be cool, dude. I would have called you. I swear to God, I would have called you through my cell phone right now. How to talk with you, man. We would have had a fucking, I bet you we would have had a long ass talk. And it sucked, dude, that one night, I did want to talk to you. It was just late. I was like, I'm just gonna, next time, for sure we'll talk. And dude, I just looked at it like, dude, it's late. If I talk to you, dude, I already know my energy, and I'm not gonna be able to sleep. Like, it's just, I'm gonna be all pumped up. I kind of regret it now, because I'm just like, fuck, I didn't sleep anyways, dude. I stayed up. I ended my stream, I don't know, like 12 or 1, I'm not sure. Or maybe it was 11. No, it's 12 or 1, dude. And, fuck, dude. I said, alright, I'm gonna get some. Dude, I laid in bed, dude. I didn't fall asleep until like 5 in the morning, dude. And then I ended up, because I hate sleeping, and I ended up waking up anyways. I got 8 in the morning. Usually I wake up at 7, but I fell asleep at 5 in the morning, woke up at 8, just got up, said fuck it. I did fall asleep a little bit earlier that next night, but not much. And I just looked at it like, man, I could have just this is what I was trying to avoid. I was trying to avoid speaking to Night of Devil, so it didn't keep me up all night when I got off stream, because I was already tired and burnt out, and I was already going to end the stream after 8.5 hours. And fucking it, I ended up staying up anyways, man. I'm just like, shit, man. And again, the one thing I hate most is laying down in bed. I hate laying down in bed. I don't know how some people can just lay in bed all day, and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? What are wrong with these people? Like, I have ADHD, so maybe they don't have ADHD, right? Maybe people that don't have ADHD, shit, they can lay in bed all day long, and maybe it doesn't bother them. But I'm telling you guys, like, people with ADHD or really have that, I don't even see how in the fuck it's even possible to lay in bed. Like, even right now, me sitting still on this couch right now, this is a little bit impossible, but I think what's helping me is, interacting on camera, on stream. I'm interacting. So I think that's helping me stay still, because I'm moving my lips, my hands, I'm moving in other areas. But when I'm laying in bed, you guys, and and I'm not interacting with anyone, or I'm not, like, I'm just there. Even if someone was laying in my bed with me, and I'm just like, it's just, dude, we're like laying, like, I don't know, my ADHD, dude, it, like, doesn't make me stay still. I start moving, or I feel weird. Like I said, I get this weird vibration in my body. Like, my body starts to vibrate, or I don't know what it is. It just makes me feel uncomfortable, where I feel like I gotta get up and move. I can't stay still. Again, so I don't know how people, again, I guess if you don't have ADHD or you don't have high energy, yeah, I guess you could lay in bed all day, I guess you could, or sit in a chair all day, whatever it is. But Not me, man. Like I said, I got that ADHD where I cannot lay in my bed. It just bothers me. I feel like it just feels weird, dude. Like it's like, oh, I hate it. I can't sit down too long. You know what I mean? I could, I guess, if there's really like a movie or these event, but like I'm saying, like I don't know, I'm at a party or whatever else, or I'm a place where I'm just sitting down. It's just I have to stand up or I move. Even I got people in my like a lot of people in my life. They say, why do you always stand? Like when there's like I could sit down and eat. You know, there's a lot of times where I'm somewhere doing something like I could sit down to eat. And I don't know why, but I always catch myself standing up and eating. Like I always just stand up and eat. And they sit down. I was like, oh yeah, I forget. Like, oh yeah, yeah. Or sometimes like I don't feel like sitting. Like I don't know right now. Like I know you're supposed to sit down and eat, but sometimes when I'm eating my food, I have a problem sitting down. Like I have to stand up. And I have to stand up and eat my food, and I feel comfortable. I'm watching TV, or I'm doing like, I'm still interacting with others, but while other people are like sitting down and eating, I'm standing up and eating, or I'm walking. You know, like sometimes I'm eating, standing up eating, but I'm walking. You know, like I'm walking, checking things out, eating, just enjoying scenery or whatever it is, because I don't. Again, sometimes I can't sit down and eat. I feel like I can't stay still. I feel like. I don't know. I feel weird. Like again, the inside of my body feels like it starts this weird vibration, or I don't know what it is. It's this weird energy, or something takes over. You're like going crazy, right? Like really, like you're like going crazy. Like, oh, I can't lay down in bed anymore. Like, damn, like fuck this, dude. I'm gonna go outside and just walk around. I'm gonna do this or that. I need to get up and move. You know, I can't lay in bed right now. That's how it feels like. I can't do this. It's driving me crazy. I gotta get out of bed. Fuck, dude. I've been sitting in this chair too long. I gotta get up and do something. I gotta walk around. I gotta do something. You know what I mean? It's not even going on your phone and texting or doing, like, you have to move. You have to do something. And sometimes again, moving is talking. You know. You have to just do something to distract your mind or whatever it is, you know? It could be the soul or the spirit, you know? So that's what it is, you know? And the best way I can explain it is just you get this weird vibration or this weird feeling or this weird, like, impatient or this weird, like, you kind of do get I hate using the word, but you kind of get anxiety. You know, you get this anxiety, so... For me, having ADHD, if I lay in bed and I'm not laying in, you know, like just laying in bed, I get anxiety and I get this weird vibration in my body. And then I just tell myself, like, I'm going to go crazy right now. If I don't get out of this bed or move or do something, I feel like I'm going to lose my mind. I need to get out, like, I need to move. And like I said, it's the same thing with sitting down or staying still. When I'm, you know, staying still for too long, it kicks in. Anxiety starts to kick in, and then my body, even sometimes my body will vibrate real hard inside, like before anxiety kicks in, and then that's when all those thoughts come, and that's when the anxiety, everything just hits me, and again, all it is like, okay, I just need to move. It's nothing big. To me, it's not a big deal. It's just I gotta make sure I stay active, or I gotta choose my moments when I feel like I gotta lay down to go to sleep, or I'll lay down if whatever it is. I could at times, or yeah, I could sit down and everything for a bit, but you know, after a while, I gotta stand up, dude. I gotta move around. I can't sit down too long. Again, it's that feeling of staying still too long. If I'm staying still in a certain spot or a movement, or like again, just laying in bed, just staying still, you know, that's what gets to me. That's what, like, I have a problem with. I have a problem with not able to stay still for too long, you know. But again, working certain jobs, like being a dental technician and being a solar consultant and being also a manager and supervisor at every job I've been at, they've always kept me so busy all the time that, you know, it was like I was able to do things nobody else can do. But then when you're by yourself, or you're not moving, or you're not focusing on all these people, or doing all of that, then that's when you're like, damn, dude, like, you know, like, you can accomplish a lot and become greater than everybody else and everything, and become better than everybody else. But again, you know, that's not the point for me. The point is making others as great as me, better than me, right? Not just as good as me, better than me. Keeping me busy, you know, keeping me, even though it's a job, you're keeping me entertained by working and doing your job, right? So that's the way I look at it. But again, some of these people who can stay in bed and stay still, or be in a chair all the time and staying still, that's hard, dude. That's fucking tough, dude. And that's why it's even, that's why I can't do streaming every day, or if I did stream at 4 days out of the week, I can't do the PC all the time. I'm gonna have to say, well, these 2 days, well, this day I'm gonna do video gaming because I don't mind. It's so, you know, because this day I'll do my regular stream, you know, yeah, I'm gonna sit down, but you know, and then these days I gotta do myself or move out, like, you know, or maybe I will do 4 days on the PC. I could, but that's why you guys see me, like, sometimes I don't sit down. You see me, I stand up, or I'll move. Again, I don't say I dance because I'm not a dancer. I just move to the music. So if I love music, or I like a song, or I love music that, you know, a song or a type of music that I like, I don't know, I close my eyes and I just move to it, you know. That's what's crazy is that, yeah, I can keep my eyes open and I leave my eyes open, you know, while I move to music. But if you guys really listen to music and you're really into it and you want to move to the music, close your eyes. And when you close your eyes and move to the music and you could feel it, all of a sudden your eyes are opening and closing, and then they're staying closed for a while, then they open once in a while, and you're like, damn, man, like, the way I can move with my eyes open to this song or the music I'm listening to the way I can move with, you know, my eyes closed, it's just two different things. And then eventually they become one thing. You can, you know, you got to train yourself, right? But again, I'm not a dancer. I don't dance to music. As I tell everybody, like, I move to music because I can't dance, dude. I don't know how to dance. You know, like I said, so yeah, you know, that's me, man. So again, that's why you guys don't ever see me sitting down all the time. You see me up dancing a little bit. I take a break, you know. I know you guys are like, damn, you know, maybe I do take a lot of breaks, but I do drink water. I do take a break. I put water on my face because I always wear a mask, cover up, whatever. And sometimes I won't, but I clean my face, you know, put some water on it, freshen up, you know, and then of course the main reason is, again, I have ADHD and it's hard for me to stay still in that chair. So me taking my breaks here and there helps me because I'm like, cool, I'm able to move, you know, break out of staying still. I don't want to stay still. And then again, I can't always be taking a break, you know, because I don't want to stay still. So I do my own thing. I dance, or not dance. I move and listen to music and do my own little thing. Or sometimes, again, you guys see me, I stand up. I'll do my stream and I'll do things or interact with you guys, and I'll stand up. I won't sit down. So again, that's again, I don't think I can blame it as my ADHD. I guess my hyperactive, whatever, HDHD, whatever that is. But yeah, being hyper and having energy and being, you know, that's why I know people are faking it, because I'm like, there's no way this person is, you know, that got prescribed Adderall, right? I'm like, there's no way this person that got prescribed Adderall, there's no way in fucking everything they have ADHD. They got that Adderall because they want to cheat in video games, or they're a drug addict. They don't have ADHD, and they just had a crooked-ass doctor that just prescribed it to them, or a doctor that knows what they're doing, because some of these people are claiming to have ADHD. I don't know if there's different levels or types, but I'm like, how do they stay still, or why aren't they always moving, or you know, like, how are they claimed to lay in bed all day, or how are they able to act or be the way they are? Like, that is not the symptoms of someone having ADHD. You know what I mean? Like, they do not have ADHD, but yet again, they're taking Adderall. Like, you could clearly see they do not have ADHD, and they're taking, because there's times they don't take their medication, and you can see it, or even if you take medication, you'll still have a little bit of some type of symptoms of the ADHD, because, you know, and you don't see it, and you're just like, holy shit, dude, these drug addicts are, all they're doing is just saying they have ADHD, and they're just, I don't know, finding the wrong doctors, or doctors that don't care, or I don't know what the fuck it is. And there, we'll prescribe it to you, you know, like, here's Adderall, here's this or that, and then again, in my head, I'm like, they do not have ADHD, I have that, and I know the symptoms, I know how it feels, or what I gotta do, and Again, I found my own ways. I don't take medication for my ADHD. I just found my own ways to handle it. I just said, you know, if I have ADHD and I can't sit down to eat, I'll just stand up and eat. And everybody knows me, knows me, and that's what I do. If I can't lay in bed and stay still, then I'll just get up and move around or do something else until I can lay in bed to stay still. If I can't move still and I move a little bit, I look at it, no big deal. I just move sometimes a bit because I can't stay still. If I have too much energy, then fuck, dude, I'll go jogging. And again, I'm joining the gym. Like, I'll do something to drain that energy. So whatever it is, or I can't focus and everything because, my ADHD, then I'll play some video games to help me focus, without taking, I don't need drugs or I don't need all that bullshit. I found a natural way to handle my ADHD, and through jobs and through my life and the way I've been doing it, I've learned how to use it as a gift, because ADHD is a gift, especially at a job or a job that requires high energy, or it could be any type of job from physical to just say mental job. Having ADHD is probably the best gift you can have. But again, if you don't learn how to use it, it becomes a curse. It becomes a nightmare. It becomes a burden. So again, anything you have as a gift, or you feel that you have that makes you, anything that makes you feel special, if you don't take care of it, if you don't look at it as a gift, or you don't use it as a gift, or you don't train yourself, again, you got to look at it in some weird way. You have the superpower and you got to train yourself. If you don't do any of that, then like I said, it's going to turn against you, and it's just going to be a curse, and then you're going to look at it as a negative way, and technically you're going to be cursed for the rest of your life, because that's how you perceived it. That's how you handled it. You never trained yourself. You let it take over. So if you don't let that happen, and you do everything that I just said, or you just help yourself in your own ways, and you don't do drugs, you guys are going to turn your ADHD into a gift. Or again, it was already a gift. It's just you guys turned it against yourselves. Or you listened to the wrong people, or you took drugs when you shouldn't have, or you lied to get drugs, and you don't give a fuck of anything I'm saying right now because you're just a drug addict. It's gonna, so that's where it goes, that's how it is. So again, you guys, so I'm a living proof that you can have ADHD and be the world's most successful person, and I didn't even have to take drugs, dude. And like I said, I don't even fucking do alcohol, dude. Do you know how many people out there that have to take alcohol just to function? Do you know how many people out there that have to smoke weed and just to function? I've met so many people, they cannot stop smoking weed. They even say like, oh, I need weed or else I have anger problems. What the fuck? You need to have weed, and if you don't have weed, you're gonna have anger issues? Like, that's your excuse? What the fuck? Or I need weed for this, or I need weed for that to help me. And then if people don't get it, it's like they're self-diagnosing themselves, and then when they self-diagnose themselves, that's how they start acting. They start acting like the way they self-diagnose themselves with, and they're like, oh, well, weed helps. Or again, there's other people, they are alcoholics, dude, and they rely on alcohol every fucking day, or they rely on alcohol to function, and they just can't stop, or whatever it is, or it's one excuse after another, I don't know. But again, like I said, they can't function. And again, like me, dude, again, when you guys experience me sober, which you guys have many times, I'm fucking am who I am. You experienced it. And then when you experience me high, I'm still the same person. Maybe I laugh a little bit more, maybe I just talk a little bit less, but I'm still the same person. And then when I drink, when I drink alcohol, I get a little bit more hyper. I talk more, or whatever it is. Like, I don't get too mean unless if whoever's around me is making me mean, or making me feel a certain way where I feel like acting mean, Damn, dude, you guys, my phone's been lasting almost 2 hours now. So, when I used to record videos, and I did it in, I believe I did it in 1080p or 144, my phone from 100%, it would only last almost 2 hours. And I noticed right now streaming my phone at the 720, at the 350, 3500, my phone has 51%, and I'm almost at 2 hours. I'm at 1 hour and 54 minutes. So if I have my phone at 100% and I drained it, I did a live stream and I drained it all the way down to 0% without plugging in the charger into my phone, dude, I can get it easily anywhere between 3.5 hours to 4 hours. Probably 4 hours the most. That's the way it's looking at. That I'm looking at it. It looks like probably 4 hours the most, but I probably could get easily, and I probably could, 4 hours the most easily. I could get 3 hours and 30 minutes. And that would be on a full charge from 100% to 0%. Easily 3 hours and 30 minutes, which that's plenty of time for a live stream out in public, you know? So yeah. So that means my phone, yeah, dude, it drains a lot of batteries when I actually just record. When I do the recording and I upload the video on YouTube, damn, it drains the battery big time compared to just live streaming. So that's cool. At least I could do easily 3.5 hours, so I don't have to worry about like 2 hours. That's plenty. 3.5 hours is fucking plenty, dude. Going out in public and interacting and stuff like that. That's enough of a live stream. And again, if it's a really, really, really important live stream, you know, that, and it's like, damn, you know, it's been 3 hours, my phone's gonna die and we need to keep going, yeah, I'll plug in the plug into my phone, you know. But again, some of these people that are fucking plugging in that charger in their phone all the time, their batteries ain't gonna last that long. They're just wasting their batteries. And you know what they're gonna say? You know what they're gonna do? Oh, it's okay, I got plenty of money, I can buy me all the cell phones I need. Yeah, but guess what? All those cell phones that you keep buying, you're going to throw them away and they're polluting the earth. So that's where I'm trying to get with some of these people, is these people that have all the money in the world, they're the ones that are creating the most trash. They're the ones that are polluting this planet. They're the ones that are destroying things mostly. And who cares if they're mortal or immortal? If they're immortal or mortal, it seems like they're using their money to destroy this planet. And again, it's by buying a bunch of cell phones or getting rid of couches faster or getting rid of clothes faster, because all that trash, everything they throw away and they throw away too soon, or they, you know, run through these materials or products and everything faster than anyone else because they have more money than anyone else. They're the ones that are polluting and destroying, you know, causing trash and polluting this world more. Because like I said, they just, you know, oh, fuck the cell phones, you know, I have all the money in the world, I'll just keep buying more of them. And it's like, well, yeah, dude, guess what? In the last 5 years, do you know how many cell phones I probably have at the as trash on Earth at the dump yard? Maybe one. And in the last 5 years, you're telling me you have like 15 to 20 cell phones? You know, maybe that's over exaggerating, maybe it's not. But you're telling me that you polluted Earth, you created trash, and you went through 15 cell phones, and now they're buried at a dump yard in our dirt, polluting our planet. You went through 15 cell phones in you know, let's say 5 years, and I went through one cell phone. So that's what I mean, you know. That's why it's like, I don't look at myself as like, I try to do my part, but that's pollution. Or let's say, hey, you're telling me in the last 5 years you threw away, let's say, 3 good couches or a good refrigerator and all this other shit because you didn't like the way it looked and you're remodeling your house, you know, so you just threw it away or got rid of it. Like, now you're polluting this planet faster. You're creating trash faster, you know, because now those couches or the cell phones or all these things you're blowing through, or again, let's say graphic cards, you know, computer graphic cards, you know, someone's overclocking them, doesn't know what they're doing, and they have all the money in the world, so they bought 5 or 6 of them, and let's say they fucked up on, like, you know, most of them. They get thrown in the trash, and now they're at the dump yard building more trash, and it's like, so that's what I look at is you got certain people, they're preserving, they get it, they're helping this environment by holding on to things or taking care of it as long as possible. Well, you got other people, like I said, and again, it's mainly the people with money. They're just saying, oh, I'll just get a new one. Like, even cars, you guys, you know, like, oh, I'll buy a new car, I'll buy a new car, I'll buy a new car. And then if you look up on this, I don't know where, but there are places in this world where there's like hundreds, if not thousands of cars just sitting there, and some of them are brand new. But again, it's trash now. It's just there, you know, because again, people are making stupid choices or the wrong choices. So that's the way I look at it, you know? Like, are you the pollution to this planet yourself, the way you're living and the way you see things and doing things, or are you the one that's trying to help prevent this from happening? I proved myself how I'm trying to prevent certain things from happening. Again, I lived a certain life in a certain way back then. Now, it's just, you know, even since recently, like a few years ago, I've changed. I get it now. I see it. I understand it. I calculate it. You see, again, it's that, I don't know, it's that immortal future. You're trying, you know, like, you're immortal, you're going to live forever, but is your planet, is the stars, is this universe going to live forever? Because we know you are, but is everything else? And if you're going to live forever and nothing else does, again, you created your own hell, because it didn't have to be like that. You could have made everything else immortal or eternal just like you, but you decided to take it all for yourself and let everything else die around you. You know, good luck with that life. You know, like I said, you have no idea, again, the things I've seen and heard and where I've been or experienced, you know. But one day, I promise you guys, you're gonna have the experience I got. You're gonna see, if you haven't already. There's people I've talked to from 3 years ago to today. 3 years ago, they didn't give me a shot, dude. They were just like, dude, just another, you know. And then today, a whole different story of how, you know. And again, me proving myself, not giving up. But again, just because you don't give up on something doesn't mean you're not wrong. You know, people could be wrong and they could still not give up on not being wrong and be wrong for the rest of their life or be the one wrong, right? But if you really know you're right and you got all the proof in the world, or it's all just coming to you, and it's not only coming to you, but it's going to others, then that's when you realize, like, okay, like I'm going to keep fighting, and I'm going to keep fighting for the truth. But again, like I just said, there are others out there that are fighting for the truth, or they feel like they're fighting for the truth, but in reality, they were just fighting for what was wrong. They were fighting, they were wrong the whole time. They were fighting for a lie, you know. And that's why I explained on my last stream that, you know, there are some gods out there that are fighting, you know, for the truth, and they might look like false gods, but in reality, they're not false gods, you know. They're just gods fighting for the truth. So, you know, again, just a little recap, just make sure you guys remembered, you know, there are gods out there fighting for the truth, and it might look like they're a false god, but they're not. And then there are false gods that literally are false gods. They didn't even fight for the truth. They just know, and they became false gods, and that's just what they are. So you'll figure that out once, you know, you reach certain levels or gain experience or knowledge or study or see things a certain way. It'll come. You know, it's, you know, everybody's going to have it in them to have, you know, to experience everything. Again, everybody's going to have it in them to experience everything. And when you say, you know, when I say experience everything, you're talking about experiencing everything good and evil. You know, everything that's good and evil, you're going to have to experience it one way or another. And I explained earlier in my stream, there are ways to do it. You know what I mean? You just got to find your own ways to do it and not feel guilty, right? That's the whole point. Finding your ways to do it and not feeling guilty. Let me see. I put on some music. I think I'm going to end my stream pretty soon. Damn, that's a second yawn now. You know what's funny is I'll yawn right now, but dude, as soon as I fucking end things on stream and all that, fuck, that's when I get all pumped up and I get like all hyper and shit, you know? So let me see. Just put on some fucking music really quick. See what do we got? Alright, so anyways, yeah, so today, well, I mean, it kind of turned out to be a little bit of a stream, I guess. But again, today was just more of a test stream for the cell phone. It seems like everything's working perfect. Obviously, if I have any issues whatsoever, it's just going to be more my service, my download and upload speeds for my service. But, you know, again, I'm going to check all of that. That's why I'm going to go to certain areas, you know, and I'm going to check because I have this app where you could click the button and it tells you the download and upload speed, like how the service is in the area. And if I'm in an area where the service is pretty decent, I'm then cool, you know, I'll stream from there. But like I said, if I'm in an area where, damn, dude, no service, you know, I checked it, then I'll just move somewhere else till I find it in an area of service and interact, you know. But yeah, you know, so everything should be working. I even checked the donation things, the subscriptions, the follows, all of that works. I kind of got an idea now how long a live stream was going to kind of last and everything, you know, streaming it. I think, again, 3.5 hours, what it's looking like. So yeah, you know, and then got a little bit of conversation in today. Like I said, I was hoping some people stop by and chat, so you know I could have had a little conversation with them and see what it brought out, because it always brings out new things. But you know, you're not every day you're gonna have someone in your chat, unless if you get bigger, right? Or I could get some chat bots. You know, I'll start talking to some chat bots, but you know, I'm not gonna do that. I told myself I'm never gonna get me chat bots, dude, because I hate feeling that feeling like, are they real or not? Or, you know, like, you'll know, I guess, if it's your chat bots, but I hate that feeling where, like, you don't know if they're a chat bot or a person, because that's how good a chat bot is nowadays. The chat bot they're so good, like, damn, dude. They're advanced. Chat bots are so advanced nowadays, you would have no idea it was a chat bot until you know, right? You're like, how come this person doesn't have pictures or this and that? But I hate to say it, but there's some streamers out there, they will get fake pictures or create fake accounts for their chat bot. So they'll make a chat bot, their mod, or they'll have a chat bot, right? And then when someone clicks to check and you see maybe as someone with pictures or this or that, it's like, dude, the streamer made that fake account, or the fake Instagram account, or the fake Twitter account, you know, and they only did that so you guys don't find out it's a chat bot. Because again, some of these chat bots, you'll never know they were a chat bot, you know, until you do, you know what I mean? And then you're like, holy shit, this streamer even went the extra mile to hide their chat bots by making fake Instagram accounts for them, and they made fake Twitter accounts for them, you know what I mean? It's like, holy shit, dude. And it's a lot of people, a lot of streamers, and it's like, and then so you got these chat bots, and you got these, you know, these fucking view bots, you know what I mean, ruining things for the good and godly people. And again, I look at it as evil, dude. It's like, I don't understand why everyone knows in this entire world, even Twitch, that view bots and chat bots are evil. You know, they're putting people in positions they don't belong in. And again, view bots and chat bots are putting people in positions they don't belong in. It's evil. And all it's doing is even creating people more money. And again, the world leaders or whoever's in charge of all of this, they're allowing it to happen. You know, and again, if they're going to continue to allow this to happen, and I know it's evil, then guess what angels do to evil? You know? Guess what angels do to evil? Angels look at it like, well, this is evil. We've been watching. We've been giving these people an opportunity to stop these people doing evil things, and you know, we're giving them an opportunity to stop all this on their own because they know it's evil. All the data's there. This is evil shit, you know, and it's getting worse. So as an angel, you're like, well, either they're gonna stop it or do something about it, and if they don't, we are. You know, that's what an angel's gonna have to do, is we're gonna have to step in and stop this evil from going on because nobody else is doing it. I thought maybe the CEO of Twitch or the CEO of YouTube or the CEO of Facebook or the CEO of wherever else, even Elon Musk is trying to do something with Twitter. If he's the CEO of Twitter, I can't say that, because I could say, well, at least the CEO of Twitter, which is Elon Musk, supposedly, at least he's trying to get rid of view bots or whatever the bots there, like bots, whatever the bots they use. But I would look at it like, man, if I was the CEO of Twitch, I would get rid of every single view bot and every single chat bot, make it illegal, because it's evil. And guess what? If the CEO of Twitch or YouTube or anywhere else this is happening at, if they can't get this under control themselves, or if they don't do something about it, or if they're continue to promote it thinking that it's okay, then they're evil. You know, and then guess what? That's when angels are going to step in, and you guys are going to see what's going to happen, what we're going to do, how we're going to take over, and you guys ain't going to do anything about it. You're going to be like, Well, you know, what are you gonna do? Say, well, you know, that was, it's not evil. We're gonna prove to everyone how evil things are, and we're gonna show you guys what it's doing to manipulate things, and we're gonna show you guys what people have done to put themselves in positions where they're at. I could have even sworn that they were talking about the drama with OTK, with Mizkif and SFan and OTK and all the drama and shit. Be like, we're all gonna see that, dude. All that's been recorded behind the scenes. So all these fans are, you know, fans of theirs that got to see them on stream. You guys are gonna be able to see videos, interactions off stream, and you're gonna see there was a lot of shady shit done to get where they're at. A lot of shady strings that were pulled. A lot of people that were given view bots and chat bots that should have never been given that in the first place, and now they're in the positions they are, manipulating kids, manipulating the world. They're doing this and that, and guess what? Who's to blame? The CEO, I guess, because the CEO, the owner of the company, is the main honcho in charge of it all. And if he's not, then lead the direction to who's in charge of all of this. Because again, these view bots and chat bots and are making people money. You know what I mean? And again, anybody nowadays can just make money off of that or do certain shady shit, dude, to get put in a position. And it's like, they did evil stuff. And again, in my eyes as an angel, how long are we supposed to, and again, I'm saying we because we're everywhere. How long are we supposed to sit back and watch this happen? How long are we supposed to sit back and watch evil take over, and streamers thinking it's okay, and companies and businesses, CEOs thinking that it's okay? And again, if everyone thinks this is okay and they're participating and doing it and believe in it, then they're evil. They're demons, they're evil, and there's nothing else about it. You know, because as an angel on the outside looking in and even experiencing it for myself, I'm starting to realize, holy shit, dude, this is serious. And everybody's starting to realize how serious this is. You know, and again, the only reason why it's getting even more serious is because this world is shrinking, you guys. Earth is getting smaller. You know, before the neighbor was the house next door, and then all of a sudden the world started shrinking. Holy shit, our neighbor is Arizona and Mexico, you know, where I live, California, you know, and then the world is shrinking even more. Holy shit, our neighbor is Canada and you know, another place, and then the world shrinks even more. Holy shit, our neighbor is now China and Russia and Australia, and then the world shrinks even more, and you're starting to realize, damn, our neighbor is Mars, and our neighbor is, you know, Jupiter, and all. Wow. And then the world shrinks even more. Holy shit, our neighbor is the solar system next to us, or the galaxy, you know, the solar system. So our neighbor is the solar system, and then it shrinks even more. Holy shit, the galaxy is our neighbor. So you guys get that? The more the world starts to shrink, the closer your neighbors start to become. So a long time ago, like I said, a neighbor was just a house next door. And as the word neighbor started evolving and evolving, it only was able to evolve as the world started to shrink. And then as the world started to shrink down smaller and smaller, our neighbors started becoming planets, and then solar systems, then galaxies. And then guess what? Eventually, when the world shrinks even more, and again, it could be us even growing, right? We're getting bigger as the world is shrinking. Now we're going to say, wait a minute. Our neighbor is that other universe over there now. So it first started off us being on a planet. Our neighbor was a house next door. And now that we have grown even bigger than we could have even imagined, and everything else shrunk down smaller than we can even imagine, now our neighbor is that universe. Now you're seeing the multiverse, the multi-universe, where you see our universe, and now you're seeing your neighbor universes next door to you. But you cannot see that. You cannot understand that unless if you become big and small at the same time. But not only you, everything else around you also has to become small or big in its own way, right? For you to see and understand certain things. And again, even if it was big or small and you have all the understanding of it in the world, none of it is still worth anything if you guys didn't even know what a neighbor was. Right? if you guys never even had the knowledge of what a neighbor was, or what a neighbor is, or what it represented, or the feeling or the meaning of a neighbor, guess what? You could get small and big and see all these multiverses and different galaxies. You're never going to call them your neighbor. You're never going to see them as your neighbor. Because the neighbor, the word and the neighbor never existed, and you never felt it. You didn't even know what it was. But now that you do know what a neighbor is, now you can look at your neighbor as the house next door, your neighbor as a state, a neighbor as a country, a neighbor as a continent, a neighbor as a planet, and then a neighbor as a solar system, and then now you're a galaxy seeing neighbors, and then you're a universe. And you're a whole universe with all this stuff inside of it, and now you're seeing your neighbor universe with what they got inside of it. But again, none of this would be possible if you didn't know what a neighbor was, or you didn't understand what a neighbor was, or the feeling of a neighbor, or what it represented. So speaking of neighbors, I gotta close my blinds so my neighbors don't look in and watch me, right? So shit, dude, my setup. All right, you guys. I've been streaming I'm thirsty, dude. You know what? I was gonna stop the stream. Maybe I'll continue a little bit longer. Let me just as I'm thirsty. It's been I need to drink some. I've been drinking a lot of water lately, and I could feel a major difference. And then when I never drink soda. I never really drink juices at all. When I do drink like a soda substitute, it's like carbonated water, like it's like flavored water. It's carbonated and they put flavor in it, but it's not fattening. There's nothing in it that's bad for you, right? So I drink water, and then for a substitute I drink carbonated flavored water, and man, it tastes better than soda. But I haven't drinking soda. And don't get me wrong, there's times I've drinking soda once a month or here or there, but constantly drinking soda, there's some people that drink soda every day, every day they drink soda or juice. I haven't drinking, or let's say all day drinking soda or juice, whatever. I haven't done that in years, dude. I've always just done flavored water, or done something like a tea, or done something to stay away from soda, dude. Soda, whew, that shit fucks you up. And dude, it's bad. It's bad, and you don't even realize what you're feeling until you actually start drinking water more, until you start eating right and exercising, and then just for a week or two. I mean, do it for a good year, and when you do it for a good year, it's hard to go back. Like me, when I started my diet, when I'm on a diet and I'm eating healthy and doing stuff, I shit you not, if I eat McDonald's, or let's say, I'll have a cheat day and I'm going to eat McDonald's, or I'm going to, eat this, or I'm going to cheat day. A cheat day is a cheat day. I do that, I get a stomach ache, I feel sick. I feel sick. So it keeps me away from eating, because I'm even if I want to eat that junk food, I can't eat it no more. I get sick. My body doesn't react right. And what's funny is when you eat a lot of junk food, and you start drinking water and start eating healthy, you feel the same way. You start feeling a little sick. You're like, man, I'm eating healthy and I'm doing this and that. It's why am I feeling sick? And it's just because, your body's been so used to all these years eating all this bad food and sodas and juice. Of course it's going to feel sick, at first, eating healthy. It's not feeling sick, it's just restarting. It's, you know what I mean? It's just, I guess it's your body's resurrecting in its own way. But once your body's resurrected, and it's now you're able to be healthy and eat what eat all that. Even if you try to eat all the bad food, you're not going to do it, because you feel like your body's going to do that. It's going to feel sick. Then you're going to feel sick. You're like, damn, But you don't know that if you constantly eat McDonald's or bad food or drink soda, this and that. If you always get that feeling or that experience, how are you going to know what it feels like to be healthy, or drinking water, or to have the experience to be on this side? And you know who has a great experience on that, and it sucks he got banned, is Greek God X, dude. Greek God X truly got to feel this, and then Greek God X truly got to feel this. And guess what? I guarantee you, and I can ask anybody in this entire world that knows Greek God X, do you guys really think Greek God X is going to become fat and unhealthy again and drink a bunch of soda and there's this? No. Never again, because he got to feel this experience and live it, and then now he's got to feel this experience and live it. And everybody, not just Greek God X, that has lost weight or felt the experience of being healthy or feeling a certain way, not one of them has said, "Oh, I'm going to go back and be fat again and eat unhealthy and drink soda or this and that." No, because they knew like the feeling. They said, "Holy fuck, dude!" So again, you cannot ever get that feeling if you never try it. And it goes back to the immortality and mortality thing, right? If you're immortal and you're young and old at the same time, never young to live old, just young and old at the same time because you're immortal, you're going to want to experience being mortal, being young, becoming old, and then dying just to become immortal again, to say, hell yeah, dude. Not only was I immortal and I got to experience being young and old at the same time, I also got to be immortal and I got to be young and then old and experienced it a different way. So again, that was the whole, two different experiences again. Because if you only get one type of experience, then you know what I mean? Like that's what you're going to be. And I guess best way I can explain it, and I gotta get me some water right now. The best way I can explain it, you guys, is that if you only got an experience of good, right? You're always gonna do good. You're always gonna be doing good things because all you've been experiencing is good. All you've been taught and known is good. So evil never comes into play. If you're always taught evil and you've always done evil things, then you're gonna experience only being evil. But if you're evil, right? If you're evil and you've been evil for trillions upon trillions of years, or you've been evil forever, for all eternity, for all immortality, you've been evil and you have never felt good, or you never been given the chance to experience good, guess what? I truly believe you deserve the chance to feel good and be good. Because if it's, again, it's not fair for you that you've always been taught evil, you've always known evil, you know what I mean? Like, you have never experienced good. So if you experience good and become evil again, then obviously you deserve to be evil because we fed you the good. If you were good and we fed you evil and you wanted to stay good, you were fed evil, you have to experience it in its own ways, and you're like, nope, I'm going to stay good. And then of course, there's some people, you were always good or you're always evil, and so since you were always good and we fed you evil, you realize, holy shit, like I love the feeling of good and evil, like I get it and I know how to use it. So that's when you're a god or a goddess. And if you're evil and you're fed good and you want to be both, you're a god or a goddess. But again, not everybody that was evil, that experienced good, they don't always become a god or a goddess. They don't always become a good person. Some of them realize they were just always meant to be evil. They got to experience being evil, they got to experience being good. They in some ways they got to experience to be a god. They got to experience to be a god. And it's like they realized, I'd rather just be evil. That's me, right? And I'm making it sound good. And then again, some people are good. They experience evil. And some of them are going to be like, I want to be a god. I want to be good and evil. Or they're going to be like, I rather just stay good. I don't want to be a god. I don't want to be, I don't want to be evil. I got to experience everything. I'll just rather be good. So again, that's the transaction right there. That's where it's going to go. I've never met a good person that was good their whole lives and they were finally shown evil, or or allowed them to experience evil, right? And then all of a sudden a good person turned evil. That's never happened. There is a rare time where an evil person has turned good, but that's very rare. And a good person turning evil has never happened. What's mainly happened was, again, some of these evil people that were fed the good for experience, they either turned into a god, or they just went back to being evil, and then the good that were fed evil for the experience, they either turned into a god or they just stayed good. So I hope you guys get that right there. I'm gonna take a quick little break. It's not gonna be a long break like my other breaks. I might just get off, I'm not sure. I didn't really have anything planned. I was supposed to be a test stream, and it ended up being a 2 hours. It ended up being a 2 hours and 24-minute test stream, dude. What the fuck, right? So let me take a quick little break. I just gotta get something to drink, dude. My mouth is dry as fuck, and then I'll just come back on just for a little bit more. It's gonna be silent. I'm just gonna put it on mute, dude. I can't put music and shit. I don't want to hear fucking someone in the background give me open my fridge. I don't know. It's just weird. So I'm just gonna mute it really quick, and then I'll be right back. All right. You know, I was thinking maybe I should just end the stream, right? If I had people in my chat right now talking, obviously I'd stay a little longer. We could do something different, talk. But again, today was just supposed to be a test stream. Obviously, it turned out to be a little bit more than that. You know, I ended up talking more. So I think it's good enough, dude. Again, it wasn't supposed to be long. I think right now I'm just gonna talk about shit I've already talked about. I'm just gonna say, I don't know, whatever it is. I'd rather save my energy for tomorrow if I am gonna stream from the PC. Or again, I might do it the next day, or maybe tomorrow I'll do Call of Duty. We'll see. I'm trying to figure things out. Also, again, tomorrow's gonna be my first day at the gym, so I'm gonna be sore as fuck. Especially the next day. I guarantee, dude, the next day I'm gonna be fucking, my legs are gonna be sore, my chest, my body, dude, I'm gonna be sore as fuck. So for like the next like week, you know, like I'm barely gonna get into this shit again. I'm gonna be sore, but it's cool because, like I said, you know, I feel like you guys can like see my arms now. You know, I don't have much muscle right now, you know, a little bit, but I think it's cool. You know, you guys be able to like see it, you know, and just my chest too. You know, it's cool because I have a little bit there where I could build my chest. You know, some guys have like a real flat chest and they gotta like build it up, you know, get it. But I have there, like, if I don't keep up on my chest, dude, I'll get some chi-chis, man. You know, that's funny because, like I said, I think I said it before, but I used to work out a lot before. And I remembered I was young, dude. I was like, fucking, I remember I was like 17, 18 years old working out hard. And I remember people were like, dude, you do realize, like, if you don't keep up working, your chest will turn into boobs. And I was like, not me. I was like, again, 17, 18 years old. Not me. I'm going to work out for the rest of my life, dude. You watch. I'm never going to get boobs and shit. And there we go. Like, I don't have boobs. But if I don't work out pretty soon, or if I don't, like, jog more, keep in shape, then I can slowly start seeing myself. You know, because again, I've worked out for so many years on my chest. When you do that and you don't work out after a while, you will get a little bit of man boobs. And thank God I haven't gotten that yet. But let's say like Canute, right? You guys know Canute? He's like a bodybuilder. Not just Canute, but there's a lot of bodybuilders out there. Or again, men that are buff, you know? And a lot of people don't realize those chests, man, they're going to turn into man boobs. Or like, again, it's true. You got to work out for like, technically until the day you die, or else all that muscle, all that day, it just turns all to like, it goes to shit, you know? So I was like, damn, dude, I like to see Canute like in about like maybe, let's say like 10 years from now, or who knows how long, maybe longer. And then I want to see, you know, it would be good, cool, right? Like maybe what I'll do is if I ever one day become like either one day if I destroy money, well, this is the way I look at it, you guys. If money still exists, I feel like someday, and hopefully someday soon, I will become the world's richest man, if I'm not already, right? But that's with money existing. When money doesn't exist and they destroy money and get rid of it completely, guess what? I am already the world's most powerful man. Without money existing and money not even, let's say if money didn't exist today, I'm already the world's most powerful man. But since today money still exists, you know, I'm not the world's most powerful man, but I'm gonna get there. You know, so that's why I feel like in some ways a lot of these world elitists are, you know, people that got into power because of their money or the strings they pulled. They're scared to get rid of it because they already know, like, as soon as we get rid of money and as soon as there's no more billionaires, millionaires, and money doesn't exist anymore, you can't buy nothing with it. You can't, I mean, it doesn't exist. Money's illegal now. It doesn't exist. As soon as that happens, I'm going to be the world's most powerful man. You know, and obviously everyone knows why. I mean, I don't need to say much, right? Because I already have. I don't need to say much because I already have. But again, since money does currently exist, I'm not, you know, I'm in the position I'm in now. And that's what they want, right? Like, they want to have power over me. And the only way they're going to have power over me is with money, right? With money. But again, do they really have power over me with money? No. You know what I mean? But in some ways they do have power over me with money because they're able to do things that I can't. But again, when money doesn't exist anymore, they're never going to be able to do the things I already done. So that's why they're going to realize that's the world's most powerful man. That's the world's most fastest man, matter of fact. Not only is that man right there, or that God, not a man, but that God right there, not only is he powerful, not only is he fast, you know, everything that comes behind those two words, that's who he is. You know, and again, I've already proved it. But that's when money is destroyed, you know, that when everybody's exposed for who they are, when money is destroyed, you know, like, because right now there's, again, because of money, there's a lot of people, you know, doing things they shouldn't, you know, or claiming things or changing things, or, you know what I mean? I don't know what it is. You guys get the point, dude. So yeah, so anyways, money still exists, so I, you know, it's, you know, I gotta work my way and find a way to become the world's most fastest and powerful man with money. And, or again, I really truly believe with all my heart money is going to be destroyed pretty soon, sooner than anyone realizes. And as soon as that happens, then that's my time to shine, you guys. That's my time to shine, you know, because it's hard for me to shine right now. It's hard for me to do anything right now without money, man. But it just, I hate finding ways to get it. Again, I've always told people, like, and I said this already so many times, I've already been a trillionaire, you guys, a billionaire, all of that. I've been all of that, you know. And then today, you know, like, again, a long time ago, when you know, when you were like the most superior thing based off of money, I guess you could say, right? You had it all. Let's say I had all the money in the world, all of it. Nobody had nothing. I had it all. Okay. And then I come around and I tell people, just with my breath, I could take nations out of debt. Just with my breath, right? Because if I'm the man in the world, if I'm the man in this world that has all the money, and I'm talking down to every damn penny, every damn dollar, you know, nobody in this world has a penny. None of you have a dollar. None of you have nothing, right? I have all the money, right? But guess what? Money still exists. And your country, your continent, your world needs this money to, you know, survive. So what do you think I did having all the money in the world, having it all, you know, what do you think I did? What I did is I showed up to not only countries, continents, not only into other worlds, I showed up into other universes. You know, I showed up into places nobody's been before. And I said, here, take it. Take my money. And my breath and my words and everything is what did it. Because guess what? If I wasn't able to speak those words and tell them why I was going to give them money, why I was going to take care of them, why I was going to take them out of debt, why I was going to help them survive, if I never was able to do any of that, they never would have got the money. You know? So I just looked at it like, well, remember I told you guys get 2 experiences, right? And that's the best way to do it. And my first experience was, I already had all the money in the world. Nobody else did. I had it all. You know, that was my first experience. Me having all the money in the world and nobody else having nothing. Not even a penny. It was all mine. But it doesn't mean I was greedy. It doesn't mean that, you know, I didn't use it for good or any of that. It was just I was more responsible than anybody else. And I didn't trust anybody else with money. So since I didn't trust anybody else with money, because what they've already proven over and over and over and over again in time, you get it taken away. So as I take away everybody's money and it all becomes mine, that's when I get to decide who I take out of debt, who gets taken care of, and where the money goes based off of their actions throughout life, of what, you know, how they lived or what they did, how they thought, you know, their moral, or is it moral? Like they have to have moral, you know. And yeah, you know, like I said, and you just give it out, and then all of a sudden it becomes what it is today. You know what I mean? Like, so again, I have one experience of having all the money in the world and nobody else having one damn penny. I have that experience, and then now I have the experience where I give out all my money to everybody, you know, and now they call it a bank and they call it this and that or whatever. So I got 2 experiences, being the world's richest man, and I was only rich because nobody else had the money. I had it all. And then I didn't get the experience of being the world's poorest man, because I told you guys you know, I don't need to experience being poor. You know what I mean? I got to already experience that through others. There's so many poor people out there. There's so many poor people out there across this world that I already feel being poor. I already know what it feels to be poor. I get it. And again, I struggled throughout life at times where I was almost poor, but that was the whole point. But then I also had times in my life where I was like, had a lot of money. And guess what? I was happier when I didn't have much money and I had more time. And I got to be myself and have fun and have a living. But the more money I started gaining, I wasn't happy, man. I wasn't, you know, like again, you don't look at items the same. You don't look at buying things the same. You don't look at struggling. You can't struggle to get that experience. Like, you know, again, I feel sad. I feel sorry for some of these kids that are born into families that already have billionaires or millionaires. And it's like those kids never got to experience how to struggle. Yeah, they got to see, and again, not everyone's like me where I could see poor people, or I could see people struggling and feel and experience it that way without myself. But others aren't like me, you know, they have to gain that experience themselves to feel it and understand it. And some of these kids that are born into rich families, they never had the experience of struggle. And then when they do see others struggling, or poor people with no money or whatever it is, instead of them feeling and helping them or gaining those feelings, they just ignore it, or they laugh at them like or whatever it is. They're like brats, you know, because they were born in a rich family, so they only got one experience. But if you give them the experience of struggling, and if their family members stripped away all their money and put them on the streets to survive as a lesson, and you know what I mean, I guarantee, dude, they're gonna look at it as a different way, as different perspective, you know. So again, like I said, me personally, I got 2 experiences. Long time ago, you know, I felt like I said, you know, I had all the money in the world, and I think the only reason why I only had all the money in the world because I created it. You know, I had to create something, you know. And when you're living forever, you guys, and when you keep coming up with new ideas to test others or to come up with new ideas of who should be immortal and who shouldn't be immortal, like who should live forever and who should live forever as a slave, right? Who should live forever in happiness and who should live forever as a slave? Because again, there is no more death, there is no more dying, there is no more who lives forever and who dies. It's whoever is going to live forever in eternal happiness and whoever is going to live forever as a slave, you know. And and those are, you know, it's through living different choices, you know. And like I said, so I looked at it like, man, I was a creator. I got to create many things, I got to destroy many things, and you know, me living forever, I looked at it like, man, why not invent money? You know, I know what money is, nobody else does. I have the knowledge of money, nobody else does. Now, the only thing I didn't know was how evil money really... I didn't know how evil money really was. I had no idea how evil money was. But guess what? You know how I found out how evil money was? I found out once I created it and handed it to others to experience money. And once I gave out money to others and allowed others to experience it, that's when I found out how evil money was. And that's when I found out this is why I gotta keep all the money and to myself and give it out to the ones who deserve it. This is why I have to be responsible with all the money that's ever been created, you know? And the best way to be responsible with money is destroy it all, or destroy the meaning, or hold on to the meaning and never use it in that way again. Like I told people, for, you know, you have the knowledge of money and what it does and the evil ways of it. Once it's destroyed, that was your test. And again, you're still going to be living the life you are now, but there's just going to be no money, and there's going to have to be more responsibility based off of each person. How much water they use, how much electricity, how many parties they have, how many cars they're driving. Nobody needs more than 2 cars, dude. Like, that's crazy. And if you're single, there's no need to have more than 1 car. And again, if you're single like me and you're a superior, then I should get a car and a truck. And other superiors like myself should get a car and a truck. You know, everybody else that's not superior, 1 car. Or if you have a bigger family, maybe 2 cars, or, you know, again, and per a person or whatever it is. But dude, there's some people out there, dude, they own like 10 cars, or like car collectors, and it's like, you're crazy. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, dude. Fucking car collectors, you're fucking crazy with that. That pisses me off seeing that shit. I hate car collectors, dude. It's fucking waste of time and money, and like I said, and fuck, dude, give some of your cars to these people who really, again, there's people out there, they deserve this entire world and they don't got shit, dude. And I'm one of them, you know. I'm like literally one of them, dude. Like, no joke, dude. So, and I'm proud of that too. I could have been easily a billionaire, a millionaire, whatever. I could have all kinds of proof of how much money I could already had or made, or opportunities, and I turned it down, or I ignored it. And you know why? Because I swear to God, dude, I felt like God, dude. God is the one that said don't. Or like, there's times I could have went this direction and made a lot of money and got connections and met these people. And again, something is like, every time I kept thinking like, God, you know, like, and I never got that feeling the devil or Satan or like evil was stopping me. I always, even though in my life I'm like, yeah, man, this would have been a great opportunity for me, or this, I could have made so much money, or man, I could have had like being a CEO of this major business. There's so many things that I could have done, you know, and become one of the world's richest men through money, you know. And like I said, I just kept getting this good feeling. Every time something stopped me, I always got this good feeling. And then all of a sudden the word God followed. And then all of a sudden I said, I understand what you're doing to me, God. Like, I know why. Now, and like at that time I could have understood. I said I understood, but I really didn't. But now today, I completely understand why God was stopping me from making money, why I was losing certain things, or why I was gaining certain, like, you know, I got it all. Like, I get it now. Like, you know, and again, if, let's just say God wasn't really real, right? Let's say God wasn't really real, but I still promoted that I felt God, it was God, like I know it. Guess what? Then I made God real. If God wasn't real, I made God real. And guess what? God, through my life, I proved God was real. Let's put it that way. Right? Let's say all this happened to me, and I kept believing in God, and I felt God, and it felt good, even though evil things were happening to me. I felt like, damn, these are evil things that are happening to me, because why, you know, I could have made all this money, or I could have had this job, or I could have done this, or I wouldn't have lost that, and this evil keeps attacking me. And every time I kept thinking that, or maybe feeling that, nope, all of a sudden God came to me and says, this is a good feeling, trust me, you watch, or I'm telling you, this is happening for a reason, believe in me. And it felt so good, and then all of a sudden, after it felt good, just the word God follows after that. And then there's times I said, well, maybe God isn't real, and I'm just making it all up, right? Or I'm just feeling, or I'm just crazy, or whatever it is, right? Whatever anyone wants to say. You know, I try to give myself those thoughts, right? All those negative, doubtful thoughts people have given me, I try to give it to myself, and even harder, right, than anyone else could or would, right? And then all of a sudden, when I do that, you know, like I said, how can I say, it just goes back to it just goes back to like, it's like one thing after another happens, or I look at it like, if God wasn't real, you know, if he never was real, then I made him real. And if anybody in my entire life or throughout my life can say, you know, well, we have this proof that God's not real, guess what? It's like, well, have you lived my life? Have you studied me? Do you know who I am since the day I was born till now? Like, have you watched me? Like, I hope that, like, you know, the government probably has, and others, like, and they know, but have you? Like, well, no. Well, guess what? I'm going to make you believe in God. And like, no, all these people that were all in my life, throughout my life, since the day I was born to now, most of them never believed in God. They knew 100% fact that God was made up. They knew that, you know, what was, you know, they knew the truth on everything. God wasn't real. And then guess what? I was born, and all these people studied my life and followed me and listened and saw and experienced my entire life since the day I was born. And now all these people that knew 100% fact that God wasn't real, and they had all the proof that he wasn't, now they know he is. But that never would have been possible for them to ever believe that, unless if I was born, they lived my life, they studied my thoughts, they studied what was coming to me, they saw the things I was seeing, they were experiencing the things I was seeing, they were hearing the things I was hearing. And as soon as everything was all connecting, and again, it was happening day by day, month by month, year by year, and as it kept going and happening more and more, that's when the people that didn't believe in God, and the ones who studied me, the ones who watched me, and we could call them the government, we could call them the Illuminati, we could call them whatever you want, you know, the royals, the secret societies, every single person that did not believe in God, because they had the proof and the facts that he was not even real. And again, it was the God honest truth that God wasn't even real. And then guess what? Like I said, I was born, I was studied, and people lived through my life. And as they did that, they realized, fuck, what the hell happened? We had all this proof God wasn't real. It is 100% fact and proof, and there was no way God was even real, dude. It was all fucking, like, none of it was even real, dude. And then you're telling me this guy was born and all of a sudden God's real now? Like, how is that even possible? And again, you know, if you want to, we could call it science. We could call it faith. We could call it belief. We could call it a miracle. We can call it deception. We can call it, what else? There's a lot of quantum physics, but that's science, so we won't even count that. That's what I always promoted, and I told people I wanted to always do the things that were impossible, but I didn't want to just do the things that were impossible, like because I could do the impossible. Like okay, how can I explain it? I was telling people that I was doing things that were impossible without even, I didn't even know I was doing it. I was doing the impossible by accident. Didn't even know it. It was an accident. Doing the impossible. But as soon as I realized I was doing the impossible, that's when I told everyone. I think I mentioned it. I said, you guys better be ready for me. You guys better watch out. Because if I was already doing the impossible and I didn't even know I was, and I was already doing the impossible without even, like by accident, what's going to happen when I do the impossible on purpose? What's going to happen when I become stronger and faster? And it's like I am going to be doing things that were not even thought of. Like they weren't even thought. Like you something has to be thought of, or something has to be there for you to be like, that's impossible. I am going to be doing things of the impossible, of things that haven't even arrived yet. Things haven't even arrived yet where you could say there's no way that's going to happen because it's impossible. Well, guess what? It's already happened, but it just hasn't arrived yet for you to say that's impossible. So if I'm already doing the impossible to things that were impossible, but they just haven't arrived yet for you guys to say it yet, you know what I mean? It's I don't know how you guys get that, like, you know what I mean? It has to be created. Something has to be created, something has to be shown to you, something has to be given to you, and for you to say that's impossible, right? And then that's when I say it is possible, let me show you. But then when I'm able to say, hey, you guys, there are things I've already done that was impossible that you don't even know it yet, because you weren't shown it yet to say that's impossible. So guess what? When you're shown whatever you're shown, about me or what I've done or what it is, right? You can no longer say that's impossible because you already know the impossible has already been done. And sometimes there's the impossible that you got to show over and over again. And then there's other times where it was so impossible, it could never be done. It would never be done. It's impossible. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen one time. But technically, it happening one time is impossible. But guess what? That's the impossible that happens one time, not the impossible you can prove over and over again. You just got to prove it one time. So, like I said, I was already doing the impossible a long time ago by accident without even knowing it. But now today, now that I know I'm doing the impossible and I'm trained and I'm just so proud and I'm so happy of who I've become today. And I don't think anyone realizes how happy I don't my names that I've found, who I've become, what I've seen, what I'm shown, what I've always wanted to know, what I've always questioned in life, it's all coming to me. And I'm so happy. And again, there's a lot of people out there that question things or this or that or whatever, and it never comes to them, because they don't deserve it. And then when things come to me, I'm saying, wow, like I deserve all of this. I deserve these names. I deserved, what this is. And again, I say that now, but I didn't always believe I deserved the things I pushed back. I said, nope, I'm not this. Nope, I'm not that. No, leave me alone. Nope, I am losing my mind. Nope, nope. And then you can't fight it. No matter how much you fight it, you said, fuck it, dude. All right, I'll become a Lord God. Fuck it, dude. I guess I'm Kryptos. Fuck it. I'm Medustro. Fuck it. I'm Cleocatro. Fuck it. I'm Jucifer. Fuck it. I'm the sin. Not only I'm the sin, I'm Master Sin, and this is why, or this is the story. Like, once I stopped fighting it, and I said fuck it, and I just accepted it, and just became everything I am right now, that's when I started gaining the stories to my name, how I got it, why, why me compared to others, because again, when I'm making choices today that other people ain't making, or I'm saying things today no one else is saying, when I'm experiencing no one else is experiencing, I'm streaming it all, not all of it, but most of it. I'm starting to convince myself, you know, I'm starting to convince myself now. Like, I'm right, because I had others that try to convince me on certain things, and I even said, no, dude, you're losing your mind. That's not who I am, or whatever it is, or like, you think I'm this, I'm not, dude. I'm just an angel, dude. That's all I am. I'm just an angel. Man, yeah, I'm an angel, but holy shit, I'm way more than just an angel. Like, I am beyond. And again, it's like Goku or Vegeta or whatever. I'm just gonna use this as an example, where they just know they're so superior and powerful and this and that they just, you know, but they didn't always know. They just said, I'm just a Saiyan. And everybody's like, well, okay, he's just a Saiyan, dude, you know. And then all of a sudden they're facing the Saiyans, right? They're facing them. All of a sudden they're Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan 4. There's all this, you know, Saiyan power there. And all of a sudden they're like, what the fuck? I thought you just said you were a Saiyan. Well, yeah, you know, like, I don't want to over promote myself, or I don't want to say, you know, you know, this and that, because I still wasn't sure that I didn't even know I was a Super Saiyan 4. I didn't even know I was a Super Saiyan God. I didn't know any of that, you know? So why would I even say it? So all I say is, I'm just a Saiyan. And then all of a sudden you find out everything behind a Saiyan. Now that's the same with an angel. I'm like, I'm just an angel. And then I became all this, so much more than an angel, you know? Like, so much more than an angel. Like, beyond that, you know, beyond God, beyond the Lord, you know, like a Lord God, man. Like, I've gone past all of that. And guess what? I could talk about it, but most of the time, you know what I just tell people? I'm an angel. And then when I say I'm an angel, the people who don't really look deep into it, you know, my life or who I really am, they just look at it like, it's just this guy saying he's an angel. Cool. How cute. And then when you really see everything backing up of me being an angel, and you really dig deep into it, you realize this fucker is not just an angel. He's way beyond an angel. He just says he's an angel because he doesn't want to show off. He doesn't want to promote himself being better or stronger or faster than anybody else, right? And that's who I am. I don't want to show off. Sometimes I will. Why not, right? It's nothing wrong with it. But I don't want to show off. You know what I mean? Or promote myself as this greater being, right? So I just tell everybody, I'm an angel. Simple as that. And if they dig deep into it, they're going to realize, wait a minute, he's a Lord, he's a God, he's a Lord God, he could be this, he could be, holy fuck, he's just beyond, he's even a demon, he could be a devil, he's sin. And nobody else can even be sin. And again, I told you guys, nobody else could be, you know, any sin can be a devil, but a devil can never be a sin. You know, and then that's where the angels of sin come, you know, the angels of sin. The angels of sin can be devils, you guys. Because again, a sin can be a devil can never be a sin. So that's why the angels of sin, they can be devils, you guys, you know, and they're still angels. So just letting you know, but not all angels can do that. Only the angels of sin can become devils, you know. But let's say if there's something called the angels of devils, right? They can never become a sin. So I'm gonna get that straight, you guys. A sin can be a devil, but a devil can never be a sin. And this is one of the reasons why the angels of sin are so powerful, because they can become devils, because they're responsible. And remember, they're the angels of sin. And who is sin? Me. So, like I said, I'm just an angel, you guys. I'm an immortal war angel, and that's the way I put it. Unless if I feel challenged, or I feel like I gotta power myself up, I guess you could say, or I gotta really show off of who I am, I'll do it. And I can do it very convincingly too, and I'll make you believe me. If you don't believe me, that is your fault, because you're in denial, right? That's the way I feel. Whoever doesn't believe me or believe who I am, what I can do, what I'm about, you're in denial. I already have too much proof out there of who I am. And again, and the only reason why I'm feeling more confident is because of others, you know? And if I don't have others, I'm feeling more confident because I'm rewinding my life back and where I was back then to where I am today. And I truly believe my dreams have already come true. Yeah, I'm not this or that. I'm not the world's biggest person or have the world's most money or have this or that, you know what I mean? But you know, like I never dreamed big, you guys. I didn't have big dreams like everybody else. I told everybody when I was young, I had a lot of nightmares, and that's all I had was nightmares. And then I had to learn how to turn the nightmare into a dream, but that was only when I'm the one that did it. You know, I'm the one that became the nightmare dream. Like, you're having nightmares and dreams. Excuse me. I have acid reflux, man. It makes me burp and hiccup. So you have nightmares and dreams, right? But then when you become, I don't know what you become or how to do it, because I kind of did it I don't know how I did it in some ways yet, but you become the dream and nightmare. Like, you control it, you become it, and then you become other people's dreams or nightmares, you know? But first you got to take on your own. So as a kid, I never dreamed big since I was always having nightmares. I was always nightmare. I already talked to people about that. And so I never had dreams, and since I never had dreams, I never dreamed big. And then as I started growing up, and I said, you know what, I have a dream, but I don't know what it is yet. And then a few years ago, I would say about since 2010 to 2011, I had a dream of how I wanted to reach out to others, what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it. And the reason why today for what I'm doing is a dream to me and beyond my dream is because back in 2010 and 11, I didn't know how to do all of this, or none of this was available, or I didn't understand, you know, how the internet really worked, or I still couldn't understand myself. I didn't understand a lot of things or what to do. And I said, you know, I have a dream one day to reach out to others in a certain way, or I have a dream to connect around this world, and so, or I have a dream just to get what I gotta say or do what I gotta do, but I don't know how to do it, you know. And again, in some ways, you think Hollywood, or you think the like the movie industry, or you think some type to get out there, and then you realize like, but this isn't like fake, and it sucks because there's a lot of people out there. When they hear Hollywood or hear that entertainment, they automatically think like fake, and that's not what it means, you know. That's, I mean, it could, but you know, it just meant more. So I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. I just kept to myself. I just ended up working solar, dental, and all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden, and like I said, I always will appreciate this, you know. It's like Ice Poseidon is the one that gave me the motivation to stream. I said, and then again, I never thought of streaming really. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't feel comfortable. I you know what I mean? Like, I know I was different than other people. You know, I was very different, and I was shy, and I still am shy. You know, I'm very shy. And like I said, Ice Poseidon came around into my life, and I seen how he acted, what he did, this and that, and I said, that's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna become a live streamer, and I'm gonna figure out how to put this all together. I'm gonna figure out how I want to do my Instagram, which I already had my Instagram kind of going already before I became a live streamer, but it's became beyond what I can imagine. So again, since my Instagram has kind of became beyond, you know, better than I can imagine, then that's my dream. My dream came true, because I'm like, damn, my dream was just to like do this, and then on Instagram, and then on Instagram it kind of became beyond my dream, you know. So wow, I kind of wanted to do this with live streaming, but it came out to be beyond my dream of, you know, I thought I was just going to do one video or two of this or that, and then again, my first real live stream was with Ice Poseidon, and that was beyond my dream. My dream was like, damn, and not to be with Ice Poseidon, but my dream was be in front of the world, or be in front of people, and to show them who I am, or what I could do, or what I'm about, or how I, you know. And I kind of wanted to see myself, right? I never got to see myself as a third party the way I did on Ice Poseidon stream when we went to Skid Row and all that, and even in his house. I never got to experience myself as looking at myself as a third party, you know. That was the first time. So again, as I started seeing Ice Poseidon comfortable, and again, he did his thing, with all his shit, the way he talked and was, it was weird, but he was, he made you feel comfortable when he did it to make others feel comfortable. So it made me feel comfortable, and then through him, that inspired me to live stream and do that. And again, other live streamers motivated me because I got to take ideas or see things or understand things. But again, my main motivation was Ice Poseidon. I got to experience, he got to experience me. Ice Poseidon and his community got to experience me first time on a live stream. I've never live streamed my whole life. I've never had any experience in the movie industry. I swear to God on this, I never had any experience in acting whatsoever. I had no experience at all. And then boom, I get put on Ice Poseidon, or I get on Ice Poseidon's stream, and then boom, I become this person, and I'm just like, wow, like, look what came out of me. I even shocked myself. And then from there it grew, and then again, I got more motivation through other, not just Ice Poseidon, but other places. And like I said, like I said, that's why even though Ice Poseidon owes me a lot of money, you know what I mean? There's some ways not too much hard feelings on him like I do have on others. Because like I said, Ice Poseidon for me was the gateway for me to do what I got to do. Now, if it wasn't for Ice Poseidon, would I still be doing what I am today? Maybe, yeah, this and that. But again, I got to get started sooner, or get started the way I did because of Ice Poseidon. And again, things didn't all work out the way I wanted it to, because everyone knows the hiccup I went through, dude. Like, with the hacking, and I'm not going to talk about it much, but CIA, NSA, FBI, all this other shit got involved in my life, dude. I thought it was a swatting. It came out to be more than a swatting. I ended up being like fucking the world's most dangerous terrorist, and I guess I was going to go to prison for the rest of my life until, like I said, until they found out I was a Immortal War Angel, and they said, wait a minute, like, what's an Immortal War Angel? And then once they found out what an Immortal War Angel was, they knew this guy is not a terrorist. He is not going to prison. He is not going to stay in jail. The FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the DIA, the government, and all these world elitists, they are wrong about him. And then I was set free, and guess what? The rest was history, dude. My streams followed after that, my knowledge, my experience, and then all of a sudden, dude, all these world elitists, the Illuminati, judges, you name it, every person in this world that knew who I was and what they did to me and where I'm at now, every single one of them right now fears me. They feared the day they were going to fear someone else. They feared the day that I was going to arrive to judge them. And I already did. All I had to do is place myself in front of them. And I couldn't do that unless if I did it, right? Unless if I tried. So I got to meet judges. I got to meet police officers. I got to meet inmates. I got to meet CIA. I got to meet NSA. And what's kind of weird is I have experience with the CIA and NSA and FBI and all these people, right? And once you're in the business, everyone knows you never leave the business, even if you tried, right? And what I thought was funny is like, wow, that's kind of funny that I actually know mostly everybody in the NSA. I know mostly everybody in the CIA. I know mostly everybody in the military. I know mostly everybody in the the FBI and DI, all that shit, dude. I know everybody. And you're telling me the people who came after me that try to claim that they were CIA and FBI and NSA and all that stuff, those people, I've never seen them before. I've never, like, you're telling me they're claiming, oh, I'm CIA or I'm NSA or I'm FBI, and they have all these uniforms and they had all these undercover vehicles, and you know what I mean? Like, again, no cops. It was just undercover people and all this other shit, And I'm like, that's kind of weird. You guys say you're a part of all, them, and I've never met you guys. I've never seen you guys. And it's kind of funny that I'm the one that knows everybody in the CIA and the NSA and the government and military and all that. I was like, I know everybody. I know everybody. And you're telling me you guys are... And I didn't tell them this, though. I just played along. I said, oh, really? I was like... And the only thing I said, I was like... When the dude, when I was like, and he had me in the car and shit, And I said, "Who are you? Like, who sent you?" Right? And the first thing he said is FBI. He's like, "I work for the FBI." And I said, "No way in hell you work for the FBI, because if you're involved with me and you're here and this or that," I was like, "You don't work for the FBI. You work for someone more beyond the FBI, dude. I'm not stupid." And then all he did is looked at me and smiled. And like I told everybody, the FBI is real, but in reality, it's not real. The FBI was made for the CIA, the NSA, the DIA, like the FDA, like, you know, all the FDA, DIA, CIA, NSA. It just, you know, all those fucking, we'll say even Secret Service. You have all of those, right? So when you don't want anyone, I explained this before, when you don't want anyone to know if you're a part of the CIA or NSA or DIA or any of those, if you don't want anyone to know which one you're a part of, all you gotta say is, "I'm with the FBI." And that was with the whole point of the FBI. The FBI was created for the CIA, for the NSA, for Secret Service or people in the military that stayed secret. The FBI was created because, you know, they don't, you know, some of them, they're like, "I don't want to say I'm part of the CIA," or "I don't want them to knowing I'm part of the NSA," or "I don't want them knowing I'm part of the DIA." So what you do is you create the FBI. So now you have the FBI, and then now you feel protected. You're like, "Dude, okay, you don't have to say you're from the CIA. You don't have to say you're from the NSA. You don't have to say any of that. All you got to say is you're from the FBI." Because that was the whole point of the FBI being created. It was created as a protection for the ones who didn't, you know, they didn't want you to know who they were working for. Because guess what? When you were in the FBI, some of you were CIA, NSA, and DIA, but none of you knew who you worked for. So let's say if I worked for the NSA or whatever, and I worked for a few of them, right? If I worked for the NSA only, let's say I only worked for the NSA and I went for the FBI. When I'm in the FBI, nobody in the FBI knows, if they don't know I'm in the NSA. They don't even know if I'm in the CIA or DIA. They just know that I'm a part of one of them, and I'm part of the FBI. So again, the FBI is just kind of made up for the rest of them so they can hide their identity. So in a way, it's not real, but in a way it is, as a protection. So when he said he was part of the FBI, I knew right away, nope, he's CIA, NSA, or DIA, one of those, you know, because there's no way they're going to send just some random FBI people, which these were not just random, just FBIs. They were up, and they knew, and again, everybody, not everybody, some people know what I went through. And again, you know, as soon as they found out about an immortal war angel and who we were, what we're about, and why we're here, shit, they let me go faster than you can imagine. They said, "Fuck that, get him out of here." You know, they said, "There's no way, I'm too dangerous. I'm way too dangerous." Especially, again, you guys, one day, I guys want you to see those cameras, man. When I was dealing with some of these cops or FBIs or even inmates, you know, what I was doing, one day there's cameras everywhere, and I want the world to see what I did or what happened or what went on. Like, nobody could still explain it. Nobody could. They watched those videos over and over and over again. And even these world elitists that sent their puppets after me, and again, I already knew they were sending their puppets after me, they still couldn't understand what the fuck. Like, I can't say it because, you know, again, I don't know who's going to watch or who's watching or whatever it is. I can't really say it, but again, I already know, no matter how many times you watch those videos, or, you know, you still can't understand what happened or what went on or why your puppets didn't go back to you or why you lost control. Or not only that, again, there are other things. You guys know what you saw on the cameras. And like I said, I'm man enough to say, you know, not to speak about it. I'm not going to talk about it. All I'm going to say is you guys know what you saw on those cameras. Again, not only was I studied in that moment of time, dude, you guys, I was studied since the day I was born. Since the day I was born, I was studied with the military studied me and tested me up and down since the day I was born. You know what's funny is, like, the government wasn't really involved. It was just the military. The day I was born, It was just the military that was involved, you know what I mean? And they were testing me, studying me, involved all this other bullshit, dude. You name it. But again, I didn't know this until recently, or even a few years ago, but I didn't know this back then. And then all of a sudden, you know, I start to grow up, and all of a sudden the government's getting involved. All of a sudden Hollywood and these, you know, actors and actresses or world elitists are getting involved. And then all of a sudden, not only is the military studying me, watching me, and putting me through tests, now this entire world, the government, you know, I'll even say the Illuminati and you know, like, world elitists, man. They started studying me and putting me through tests and this and that. And then again, no matter what they did, you know what I mean? They just couldn't understand. For once in their life, they couldn't have an answer. Because these world elitists will have an answer to everything. And they will have an answer to every person they study, and each person they test, they will have an answer. And for some odd reason, and again, I kind of have an idea why. I already know why. They couldn't have an answer for me. No matter what they did to me, no matter what test I was put through, no matter what it was or what it was about, they couldn't have an answer for me. They couldn't come up with an answer. Some of them, it was frustrating for them, and others, it was exciting. It was a new experience. It was a new, you know, others were like, I always have an answer, you know, and for some odd reason, we can't get this answer with this fucking dude, you know, which is me, and they get frustrated. And again, others are gonna be like, I always have an answer, and this guy I can't get an answer with him. Fuck yeah, dude! Finally, like now I'm getting another experience. I'm getting an experience where for once, I don't have an answer, because I'm always used to having an answer with everything and everyone, especially if I put them through a test and I studied them through all these years. You know what I mean? Like since the day they were born. I always have an answer, and I have an answer for every person and everything. But when I'm born and you study me and you get part of my life and involved with me, and again, as a world elitist, you put me through the tests and you put me through things or whatever it is, and you still can't get an answer of who I am or what I'm about or what happened or what went on or what you saw or experienced yourself, you still can't have an answer. You should look at that as a gift. I gave you guys another experience, and I'm giving you guys another dimension, because through experience comes dimensions. So if I'm giving you guys another experience and I'm giving you guys another dimension of not having an answer for once in your life, you guys should be thanking me. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be getting frustrated because you can't come up with an answer with me. You guys should be thanking me for not coming up with an answer, adding another experience to your life. And you could have been living forever. And again, adding new experiences opens up new dimensions. I don't think a new dimension can be opened up without a new experience. It usually always takes a new experience or something new to create a dimension or a new dimension. Something, again, a dimension is something that's never been experienced yet or something that hasn't existed yet. So if you have these people who have always had an answer, you know, but you know, never came across someone who they couldn't have an answer for, again, there's no dimension to that. So all of a sudden I'm born and I'm here and I'm placed in front of these people and I'm tested by them, you know what I mean, so they can get an answer of who I am and what I'm about or what's going on, or things can be explained of the experience they went through with me. Since they cannot get an answer, and it's the first time in their entire life they have experienced that, I have now created a new dimension for them. And guess what? Nobody else could have done that for them but me. Because if someone else was able to do that for them, then it would have happened already. But you're telling me these are people who've been living for all eternity, forever, and they have never, ever came across someone that they couldn't get an answer, you know, with or from? And it was me? You know what I mean? So they should be thanking me. It's a gift. Don't get frustrated and don't look at me like as an enemy or something, or you know what I mean, like I'm doing it on purpose. Maybe in some ways I am, but in a lot of ways I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm just being me, and I'm just that one different person you put through tests, and you know, you tortured and you did everything possible you could to, right? You know, you even try to manipulate me. You try to do a lot of things to me, and none of it worked. You know what I mean? Because if it did work, you guys would have had an answer already. You guys would have had an answer that you've always had an answer to life, an answer to knowledge, an answer to everything. That, and especially all you guys work together as elitists. Even if one of you kind of don't have the answer, 10 of you are, and then that one's gonna have the answer. But you're telling me every fucking world elitist, every most powerful and fastest person in this entire world that has always came up with answers their entire lives after living forever meets a guy like me, and then all of a sudden you guys don't have an answer? I mean, you know, again, look at it in as a positive direction. Look at it as a positive thing. I gave you guys a new experience you guys never got before, and I opened up another dimension for you. So you should be thanking me. Because if it wasn't me doing it, nobody else was going to be able to do it. You guys would have just been living in one-dimensional way when it came to answers. But now I gave you guys 2 dimensions and looking at an answer where some answers aren't even there. And again, I do believe some answers will come one day, or they'll be answered in a timely manner, but you know, that's going to take time, or maybe it won't take time at all, you know. And that's the gamble in life. That's the gamble in life, is guessing. You know, that's the gamble in life, is guessing when the answers will come, when will you gain these answers. Because the last thing you ever want to think is, I'm never going to get the answers, or there's questions out there that will never get answered, or there's things out there that will never get an answer to. And like I said, and you can't think that way. You got to think that everything is going to have an answer. They're going to come to you one way or another. And again, not all answers are just given to you. Some answers are in pieces throughout time, and when you piece it together, you're like, wow, now I know why they did it that way. Well, they put the answer in this time period, put the answer in that time period, and then switch it up. And then this time period, they switch it up. Like, they mess with time, put the answers within time, you piece it all together, and then boom, you have the answer. You know, they're not always like, oh, here's the answer. You know, you have to find it. So again, you know, just to get off this subject, I was the only one they couldn't find an answer to, and I get it. I understand why, because you know, nobody's gonna get their own answers. Nobody's gonna get an answer for me except myself. And guess what? Most of the time when I get my own answers, you know where they stay, and they're at in here. Do you think my answers, my answers come out of here, or any? Nope. Or off of these fingers, or any? Nope. They stay in here. Because you know why? Because like I told you guys, I know there's people out there that want the answer. But if I can hold the answers in here and never give it to them, then eventually they're going to have to come to me for the answers, and it's going to be up to me to give them the answers or not. And this is going to be the first time ever, living forever, they're going to have to do this, because again, they have always had the answer. They, no matter what, they always had an answer. Not one time in their entire life, living forever, did they not have an answer until I was born. And then I'm born, I got the answers, I am the answer. You want them, they're in here. Or they're in here too, right? My heart, they're in my heart, they're in my head, they're in my body, dude. Fuck the head, fuck the heart, it's in my body. So, you know, and again, you guys can't even cut me open for these answers, right? You gotta, like, think about it like that. I have the answers inside me, and you guys can't even cut me open for these answers. If you guys cut me open and I die, or whatever it is, you guys lose those answers forever. You know, until I come back and give them to you, I guess. But I'll make you guys suffer forever, right? Why not? I won't ever come back and make you guys suffer forever. So forever, you guys forever, you guys are always gonna remember me. And you guys are going to remember, he was the one person we needed the answer from, or we wanted the answer from, or we wanted to find out his answers, and we fucked up. So for all eternity, you guys will remember me, but you'll never get my answers. So again, you know, you guys got to find ways, and the only way to get these, to get the answer you guys want, you guys got to come to me. You guys got to prove yourselves to me, and if you guys do that, then I've already proved myself to you, so I can't even prove myself to you guys. I've already did it over and over again, and like I said, there's cheaters in the game, man. And you guys are finding that out firsthand. There's a lot of cheaters in the game, and obviously I'm talking about the game of life, which the game of life is life, you know? It's everything that involves with it. So, Yeah, so anyways, I don't want to go too deep into things on that part. Remember, you guys, this is just a test stream. This is a cell phone test stream, right? Uh, for what it's supposed to be, I guess. But damn, it just went a whole different direction. But this is the shit, you know. This is the shit I gotta get or I gotta explain or talk about because it's not only what I want to talk about, but I know it's what others want to hear. And again, I have a specific type of people who listen to me, who watch me, who's been studying me my whole life. You know, I know what they want to hear. I know what they want to see. And again, I'm not going to always give it to them, but, you know, if they deserve it, I'll give it. I'll say it. I'll do what I got to do, you know. And all I want is to feel appreciated. And guess what? They know, everyone knows, I already, like, I feel appreciated. Like, anyone does anything for me, I always appreciate. I never ever been one of those people that never appreciated something. I've always appreciated anything I've always been given into my entire life. You know, and if I didn't here and there, you know, once in a while, hey man, I'm only human. I only can appreciate so many things, you know, and if I missed one thing or here or there, but most of the time I always appreciate everything, and that's what I expect others to be, is appreciative. And unfortunately, like I explained earlier, some people don't they don't appreciate because that's not the life they live. That's not how they grew up. Most likely they were born in a rich family and spoiled ass kids, and they just never got the experience that they should have gotten. But that's just what it is, you know. That's just how it is, and it's up to people like me and others to add another experience in their life or another dimension. Because if we don't give people a different experience, or people don't give me a different experience, then again, that's a lost dimension. You know, that dimension's it's like there, right? There's like there's a dimension there, and it's just sitting there ready to be opened up. But that dimension cannot be opened up unless if you're given the experience, or the experience is given, like a new experience. And again, all dimensions, when they first, like, they're there, like they're not born yet, but they're born when something new is created. So like I said, so if you really got to see, like, let's give it an example. You guys were able to see 10 dimensions, right? You saw 10 dimensions. And while you're looking at these 10 dimensions, you already know with the greater knowledge, we got to open up those 10 dimensions. How are we going to open up those 10 dimensions? How are we going to open them up? Oh, I know. We got to create a new experience that's never been experienced before. Because if the experience is not new and we're already experiencing it, then the dimension has already been opened. You know, there's nothing new about it. But we know that we're looking at those 10 dimensions over there, so that's telling us, since we see those 10 dimensions, there are 10 new opportunities for us to open up. But we don't know what those 10 new opportunities are yet until it happens. And when it happens, then all of a sudden it's like, wow, guess what, dude? Within this month, 2 new opportunities just happened. 2 new experiences just happened. So guess what? Now there's only 8 dimensions left because 2 of them have been opened up. So you're excited because you're like, wow, like I can't wait to get a new experience, or you know what I mean, to get you know, a new feeling, a new experience of something, because we know there's 8 of them because there's 8 dimensions. But again, some people, if they don't see those dimensions of how many are there, then you just don't know how many are there. You live day by day, month by month, year by year, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden, when you gain a new experience, you know, and again, it has to be a new experience. Now you know, crap, a dimension has just been opened, or cool, a dimension has just been opened because I just gained a new experience. But again, some people don't know how many new experiences are going to be coming their way because they cannot see the dimensions. They don't see those 10 dimensions. They can't see them at all, so they don't know how many are coming their way. While some people can see those dimensions and they say, okay, there's 10 new dimensions. So I know there's going to be 10 new experiences coming my way. I just don't know when it's going to happen, or when it's, you know, when. But when it happens, since it's a new experience, you know it happened. Because if you're just experiencing something over and over again, then you know, like, okay, it hasn't happened yet. But once you experience that new feeling or that new thing or whatever new you did that you experienced, then all of a sudden you know that was the new dimension that opened up. That was the key. That new experience I just experienced right now, that was the key to opening up one of those dimensions. So like I said, and so again, you can never ever open up a new dimension unless if it's something new, and it has to be like a new experience. Because again, if it's not new and it's not, you know, some type of a new experience, you know, then obviously the dimension's already been open. It's been there. It's been experienced over and over again. There's nothing new about it, dude. So, you know, experience something new to open up a dimension. And again, it could be anything, right? Have you ever been skydiving? Have you ever been this? Or it could be something as simple as, have you ever picked up trash on the side of the road? Is that a new experience for you? Have you ever picked up trash on the side of the road? You know? No, I never thought of that. I never did it. Well, maybe you can open it. And again, that might sound stupid. Like, I'm going to open up another dimension by just picking up trash on the road. And then guess what? All of a sudden, you might find $100 bill, $1,000, or let's say you picked up trash on the road. You opened up another dimension just by picking up trash on the road. And then now all of a sudden, that dimension has brought you something even great, like something amazing a year later. A year later, that dimension brought you, I don't know, whatever you were dreaming about. You're like, gosh, damn, dude, like, finally, like, I got my car, or finally I did this, or finally I'm a big streamer, or finally this, like, whatever you want, you know, that came to you. But guess what? Never, ever, 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 ever would have came to you unless if you picked up trash on the side of the road and opened up that dimension. And again, some people don't realize the simplest, smallest, dumbest things that you have never experienced before. If you go for it and experience at least one time, then you opened up that dimension, and that dimension is going to open up other dimensions in the future for you. And it goes back to just picking up a piece of trash on the side of the road, or you spent all day, let's say, I don't know, helping old people. You went to elderly homes, and you say, you know what, I never went to the homes, you know, where elderly people stay. I never done that. I never went to visit them. I never, you know, experienced that. That would be a new experience for me, going to an elderly home and talking to older people, you know, women, men, and hearing their stories. Because, you know, old people and that's all they want is attention, to be visited, and for, you know, for them to be recognized, you know, because they get what's that called, they get ignored. They get I forgot, there's a word to it where they when they get too old, the family member, they just, you know, they don't even visit them, you know. So I feel like, you know, like, all right, well, and I've done that just to let you guys know, you know, because I worked at a dental lab, so I worked with a lot of, you know, older people, you know, dentures and stuff like that. And some of them were from elderly homes, and I swear to God, I said, I'm gonna go visit you and your friends at the elderly place, and we're gonna finish our conversation. And they didn't believe me, and all of a sudden I showed up, and I'm there at an elderly home talking to older people and hearing them, some of them crying, some of them making me I feel bad for them, what they're going through. Some of them, their family members dropped them off like 2 years ago and never seen them again. And I'm just like, really? They're like, no, they dropped me off and I've never seen them again. They just pay for my, you know, and they're good. I'm like, dude, they're like, you know, there's really nothing wrong with them. They're just, I don't know, misunderstood. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just older and they're trying to hold on to life. What's wrong with that, you know? And nobody's helping them. Sorry, I get a little choked up because it hurts, you know? You don't know the stories you hear from them, what they go through. So if you never had an experience before, you know, of visiting the elderly and these homes, you know, that, you know, they go to, do it. And that's going to open up another dimension. And and obviously that's a good thing that you're doing, you know, and good things are going to come your way later on because of that dimension you opened up. But guess what? If you never would go visit the elderly, and you never went to go visit the elderly in a nursing home your entire life and never done it one time, never experienced it, then guess what? That dimension has never been opened up. It never brought you opportunities in the future. And all you kept doing is experiencing the same things over and over again instead of experiencing new things. And all you were doing was living in the same dimension or living in the same dimensions over and over again without even realizing it, wasting your life away. when the whole time, all this time in life, you could have just been experiencing new things over here, over there, experience this, just everything you could possibly do that you're experiencing new. And I guess you could call it a buckets list, but it's really not a buckets list. It's just simple things you're experiencing new. You're just opening up all these dimensions for you, dude. And the more dimensions you have to work with, the better. You know, it's kind of like an amusement park. It's like, well, this dimension is Tomorrowland. This dimension is Small World. This dimension is the jungle. You know, this dimension. Then all of a sudden, you put all these dimensions together. You know, Tomorrowland and the jungle and all these rides and all this. They put all these dimensions together, and now you have Disneyland. You know, Disneyland, and technically it is. Disneyland is like a bunch of dimensions put together. So it's like, I want to experience the Buzz Lightyear ride because I never experienced it before. And then boom, new dimension. Guess what? Now I could go experience the Indiana Jones ride. I'd never been on it before. Boom, new experience, new dimension. I want to go on Small World. You know, I heard they changed it. I didn't go, I haven't been there for a while. Boom, new experience because you've been there, but now they changed it. Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, I remember a long time ago when I was a kid, it was this. I got that experience, you know, it opened up a dimension, but I heard they changed it and they put Johnny Depp and all this new stuff in there. So boom, you're going back to the Pirates of the Caribbean and they changed it all. So now you're getting a new experience, a new dimension. And now you're getting all these new experiences and opening up all these dimensions within one place called Disneyland. But Disneyland started off the same way kind of you did, where they said, we want this new experience here, this new experience there, this new experience there. We're going to be opening up all these dimensions for everybody. And guess what? All these dimensions and all these new experiences are going to be in one place, and we're going to call it Disneyland, or we're going to call it Disney World. You know what I mean? And boom, all of a sudden you're getting it all. And then now all these new experiences, opening up new dimensions, are now in movies. Have you seen this movie? Have you seen this series before? No, I never seen that movie or neither the series. Like, it's gonna be new for me. Cool. And now you're watching a movie, and now you're opening up another dimension. So again, any new, even catch this. You filled up your gas. You always filled up your car with gas at this gas station and that gas station, but all of a sudden, you said, I want a new experience, so I'm going to drive to this gas station, and I'm going to pump gas in my car from this gas station because it would be a new experience for me. Boom! Something that small, dude. You know, something that small, it technically is a new dimension you're opening up for yourself. Something that small. And guess what? You decide to make that choice. You decide to do it. And again, there are some dimensions you don't have control of. Maybe you don't have enough money to fly to Japan or Egypt or Russia, or there's some parts in the world it's so dangerous, I guess, that, you know, you can't be there. So it's like, damn, well, that sucks because now I can't experience something new and get the new experience to open up that dimension. Number one, it's like, damn, I don't have the money to fly across the world and stay in a hotel and do this and this and that. So now you're losing new experiences and you're losing dimensions because of money. Or you're losing experiences and you're losing dimensions because a country doesn't have their shit together and there's evil running around everywhere. So now you can't experience it because, you know, your new experience might be your last one if they kill you. You know, if they kill you, well, it was supposed to be your new experience, but instead it was new, but it was your last one. So remember, technically, your last experience, your last new experience, right? Say you've been experiencing new things, you know, new experiences, opening up these new dimensions. Your last experience, your last new experience, your last dimension that you're opening up is death. Because you never experienced death before. It'll be new to you. So that'll be your last one. So once you experience death, that's new. It opened up another dimension, but it's the last one. So again, while you're still alive, open up as many dimensions as you could. Experience as many new things as you could, because you have to remember your last new experience is going to be death. And after death, And after that new experience and after that dimension opens up, that's it. There's no more, because you already had the opportunity while you're alive to do it. You know, you're no longer allowed to do it after you die. You have to do it while you're alive. And whatever you do while you're alive, you get to keep when you're dead. You know? So if you didn't do specific things while you were alive, you can't keep it when you're dead. You lost it forever. But while you're alive, the more things you do, the more things you experience, the more dimensions you open, you get to keep all of it when you die. And it stays with you forever. But if you never get to experience it, or you never opened up that dimension, lost forever, because you're dead now. You know? My phone has 12%, dude. So I think I'm gonna get off now, you guys, pretty soon. 12%. What can we talk about? 12% is gonna give me about fucking damn, oh dude. That guy is sexy. Woo! I'm wearing a mask. What the fuck? See, you guys gotta be confident, dude. You know why I always get like this and act like this? Because I am shy, dude. I'm actually really shy in person. It's funny because I could be like this, before I used to be not shy. I was like, I don't know, man. I was like the man. And I don't know, maybe because I've changed, or I got greater knowledge, or I see things differently. Dude, I am shy as hell, dude. I get shy, man. But, oh well. So, 11%. What can we talk about? I got about probably 10 minutes. So, a fucking test stream that I was only going to do for 15 minutes. Technically, I was going to do my test stream for, 15 minutes, maybe like fucking 20 minutes the most, dude. And then all of a sudden, like I said, fucking 3 hours and 40 minutes later, dude, I'm fucking still here streaming. I'm streaming until my phone dies, I guess. Fuck, might as well, right? I mean, shit. I got 10% left, so might as well stream till the phone dies, or at least till it drops down to 5%. So if anyone in chat has anything, quick questions, anything to talk about, anything they want to know, any answers they want to find, just let me know, man. I guarantee it, working together, because I look at it like this: if I can do all this, if I could do things on my own, the way I do it on my own, and I got others that can do it on their own, when we meet each other and we do it together, nobody will have a chance. Nobody has a chance. And then, like I always tell others, that everybody's going to be us. They're going to see what we're doing, how we talk, how we do it, what's going on, blah, 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 this and that. And then all of a sudden, everybody's going to be us, dude. Now, obviously, nobody's going to be us. They can't. You know what I mean? Because, the names we have taken on, who we are, the proof of what we are, If they try to be us, it's stealing, right? It would be technically stealing. It's like, hello, you become me, you're stealing, you're stealing my identity, and even if you're stealing my identity in one way or another, like, that's stealing, so, but again, you get, dude, anyone knows in chat, like, if you get strong enough and, you know who you are, nobody's gonna be you, nobody's, gonna attempt it, and if they do, man, good luck, man. Like, if I was fighting, right? If I was fighting to be me, or I was fighting myself for this and that, I mean, good luck being me, knowing, really truly being me, or trying to steal my life away from me, or, trying to, like, whatever it is. Because you guys, I don't think anyone realizes how easy someone from somewhere else can steal your life away. Like, it's very easy. So that's why I told myself, well, I'm never going to have my life stolen from me, and the way I'm going to do that is become very difficult. I'm going to become very difficult. Now, I'm an easy person, and I'm not a difficult person at all, but if I have that feeling where I don't trust you, or I don't trust, or it's just that feeling, something takes over. It says, nope, I need to become very difficult. I need to become confusing. I need to become something that nobody can understand, because if they can't understand what I've become, How the hell are they gonna become me? That's the way I think. If someone's gonna steal my life, steal my identity, or steal all my knowledge or everything about me, then I need to become something they cannot, like, that I don't need. Like, I gotta become something where they cannot take on. They cannot. They're scared to be, right? Like, I want to be that person that you're scared to be. Does that make sense? Because if you're scared and you fear being me, guess what? Most likely you're not going to be me. You're never going to be me. It's too scary. You feel like the fear just kicks in, right? About possessions, demonic. Oh shit. So I can't really see on there. I have my screen in here. Let's see. Are you talking about possessions? Demonic possessions? No. Demonic possessions are a little bit different. You gotta remember, a demonic possession is when you're possessed by something evil. And then you have angelic possessions, right? An angelic possession is you get possessed by something good. You know what I mean? There is, I guess you could say there's alien possessions, but when you become an angel or a demon or a god, like, technically you don't even want to talk about or deal, like, you don't have to worry about alien possessions, right? It's like, come on, dude, I'm an angel or I'm a demon, you know, I'm a god, and you're telling me an alien is trying to possess me? As a demon, I've been possessing for fucking, you know, before time began. As an angel, I've been doing possessions before time began. And you're telling me these stupid aliens have only been doing possessions for, you know, years or, you know, within time? You know, it's like, shit, dude. Angels and demons and gods, dude. Man, we've been doing possessions even before time began. And remember, time supposedly began 14 billion years ago. You know, so if aliens, we'll say it like this, dude. If aliens have been doing possessions for 14 billion years, because that's when time began, look at it as demons, angels, and gods, and even devils will say, they've been doing possessions before time began. So it's, in some ways, it's like, are these angels and demons and gods possessing aliens, and then these aliens are trying to possess people? So now people are blaming aliens when it's really the demons, angels, and gods? Because if these angels and demons and gods are way more, and devils are way more powerful than aliens, and these, you know, I'm pretty sure they're the ones controlling the aliens like puppets. Because if I was, in, again, being a god, an angel, or a devil, or anything, I want to be a demon, you know, again, that's what you could become when you're a god. When you become all of that, when you become all of that, like I said, the last thing, you're going to look at yourself as an alien. Because you're going to be like, fuck that. You're like, fuck that. Like, I don't want to be an alien and I've only been around, you know, 14 billion years when time began. I would rather be a demon, god, devil, or an angel that existed before time. Because, again, most likely they're the ones controlling the aliens. And then the aliens are controlling regular people. I guess call them humans. I don't know, right? Aliens to me are demons in shape-shifting mode. It's true, they could be. Devil's advocate. And like I tell people, a devil is a character of law. You know, like a devil is a character of law. You know, a tester of good and evil. Hey, okay, so real quick, this sucks, dude. I wish you would have came in my stream earlier because I really wanted to talk to someone. Dude, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow in a day or two. I have 2% on my phone. It's going to die. I'm not, you know, I told myself I'm going to end the stream. I love where this conversation is going. I really appreciate you stopping by. Shoot me a follow or whatever. I'm going to stream tomorrow, the next day on my PC, so I don't ever have to worry about the phone dying. Today was just going to be a phone test stream. Ended up being more. I have 1%, so it's going to die. Catch me tomorrow or the next day or Saturday, the latest, and I'm going to be on my PC on a stream. And I would love to continue our conversation, dude. All right? Like, I really appreciate stopping by or do that, you know. Dude, I really wish you would have stopped by an hour or 2 hours ahead of time, but you caught it at the wrong time, and I loved where this was going. So again, catch me tomorrow or the next day or Saturday. One of those days I'm going to stream.